Welcome to Sinsheimer Park in San Luis Obispo. It's a beautiful sunny day. Game time coming up shortly at 4 o'clock. We are here again for your Crawdads pregame show. My name is Dylan Allen, joined by Olivia Arciniega, my co-host. Olivia, how are you doing?
I'm doing good today. It's another beautiful day at Sinsheimer Park. We've got another pretty good fan base, even though last night seeming pretty unbeatable, but a lot of fans here eager to kick off SLO's last home game of the season and the second to last regular season game for the Dads.
Last night was fireworks night. It was packed here at Sinsheimer, and unfortunately, they could not lock up the #1 seed. Once again, it extends their three-game losing streak, or extends their losing streak to 3. They fell 4-2 against the San Luis Obispo Blues. It was kind of a rough game. We'll touch on that a little bit later, but again, the Crawdads still control their destiny here. This is a massive game for them. If they win, they clinch the first seed. Again, they've had a chance to do it their last 3 games now. And it's huge for a lot of reasons. You know, again, we said this on the last couple of shows, but they get that quarterfinal bye, they get the home field advantage, and then they get to host the CCL championship at Monte Vista. And that's really what you want for rest. You get 2 bye days. It's huge.
Yeah, and I mean, the opportunity to play at the field that you're comfortable at Monte Vista, your home field, would be ideal, so ideal. And again, we've talked about this before. They've had a chance to do this for the past few games, for the past 3 games, and it just hasn't fallen in the Dad's lap yet. The 3-game losing streak, and if they were to lose today, this would be the first time that the Dads have lost 4 straight since 2022, between July 13th and July 16th, about 2 years ago, or excuse me, over 2 years ago, so this kind of streak is unusual for the Dads, I would say, especially this season. But again, they have just one more game to win it. This is SLO's last game today, last game of the regular season. If SLO were to win today, we would be tied for first. And then, like you said, it's all in the Dad's destiny to clinch first place tomorrow. But
Yeah, it's a huge game. SLO is now on a 9-game winning streak, so they are about as hot as it gets. It doesn't get much hotter than that. They're 20-13, sitting in second place. Again, as Olivia just said, if they win, they would be tied. The Crawdads' record on the summer, 22-13. You know, talking about last night's game, it was a little rough. They had 13 strikeouts as a team in 30 at-bats, so almost half of their at-bats were strikeouts. The starting pitcher for the Blues, Jackson Howell, had 8 strikeouts, so he was dominant, and the Crawdads just a little sluggish again on the offensive side. They have not been scoring a lot of runs as late, and then there were a couple plays that were really unlucky on the offensive side. One I can refer to, Nikhil Beasley, his first at bat, 3-2 count, he absolutely smashes the ball into left center. Probably, I don't know if you can see on the broadcast, but where that cow is, that's the Mid-State Fair sign. It's 380. I think that's 380. It might be 360. I'm pretty sure that's 380. And that's you've got to get a hold of a ball to get out there, and he did, but it just right at the warning track couldn't fly. So it was rough. Just a couple tough breaks for the Crawdads.
Yeah, and I think that's been the story for the Dads for these past 3 games, is just the stagnant offense that they've had. You know, you have those little sparks like Nikhil Beasley coming up. The guys are still active on the bases, stealing, which again is something that has worked well for the Dads, I would say, but they just can't avoid those strikeouts, and they certainly weren't able to avoid it since yesterday. Like you said, 13 strikeouts on the offense last night. I wouldn't be surprised if that was a season high. If not, it definitely was up there. Yeah, just a frustrating night. And then for pitching still being the story for the Dads as of lately. We've talked about these consistent starters. You have Bird going out there, Yasa, who started last night. He pitched 5 innings, had 6 strikeouts, and only allowed 2 runs and 4 walks, which are not bad numbers, again. So it's not necessarily that the Dads couldn't get it done defensively. It all just comes back to the offense and them not being able to connect with those pitches, connect with the ball. And I think that's where they've fallen short.
Yeah, the other thing I want to touch on from last night's game is kind of a few mental mistakes. One specifically on the base pass. Nikhil was out there with 2 outs 2 runners on. He was at second. They had a run on first, and Cole Kosciuszko was standing in the box, and the field got backpicked. It was definitely rough, especially being in the 7th inning. They were down 3-2, and the tying run is standing on second base. So not something you wanted to see there. They had a couple other rough plays. You know, the umpire did not give them any breaks. Now, I never like to blame a game on the umpire, but you also got some tough calls. I mean, he threw a lot of pitches in the zone, and there weren't a lot. There was a lot of inconsistency with his zone. So hopefully that'll be a little better today. It was just a rough game, especially when you come here on the road and you're trying to get that 1 seed locked up.
I was going to say, and we'll talk about this more as we go through our lineup, but I'm sure, too, the dads are feeling it, the players especially. I mean, they came here, played a big game in front of a big crowd after a 4-hour bus ride earlier that day. Some of these players have not gotten many off days recently. Some of them are hurting, a little bit banged up. So, again, it's, you know, there's always a point in the season, I feel like, where a team kind of has a slump and experiences it, and maybe this is it for the dads. But, again, as we start to go through the lineup today, we're going to see some of the changes that Coach Brant Cummings decided to make and hopefully add some more spark into the lineup, into the batting order. So, with that being said, leading off for the Crawdads today, you have center fielder Casey Cummings, who has been one of those players that has struggled at bat. He had 3 strikeouts last night, but again, leading off today, and he's still a phenomenal player, great at center field, someone that Coach has trust in. And then at third base today, following Casey Cummings, you have Nico DeFazio, who's typically played at shortstop or second, and today will be his 4th time making an appearance at third base. Followed behind him, you have Cole Kosciuszko, but today as our designated hitter, giving him a day off at first. But, you know, another one of those players who hasn't really had many off days. He's played 32 out of the 34 games this season, but he is still crucial to this batting order. And then right behind him, hitting in that 4th spot, you have Isaiah Walker at second base, followed by Ethan Liao in left field. And then in right field, you have Jackson Bird hitting in that 6th spot. He's playing right field just for the 2nd time this year. Another interesting input from Coach, but Jackson Bird's been somebody who's been super, super consistent in every spot he's played, whether it's pitching, first base, honestly, anywhere. He can get it done. Designated hitter. In the 7th spot, you have Nico Azboqueta taking over that first base spot from Cole Kosciuszko, who's been playing fantastic at third base, playing both corners of the infield this season, somebody who has been consistent. And then in that 8th spot, you have Ben Royo playing shortstop, followed by Xavier Rios, who will be catching for our starting pitcher, E.J. McGrew, who had an excellent performance last time he was on the mound when we were in Sonoma just a week ago. And I mean, yeah, just running through this lineup, I feel like it kind of speaks for itself. There's kind of some names in different places, new names coming into the lineup that kind of make you go, wow. Like, I mean, again, you're missing Aiden Camberg, Mark Wahlberg, Cam Calvillo, all players who have not seen a day off, maybe feeling a little bit banged up, tired, and I think it's smart to give these guys a day off, especially when tomorrow could possibly be a deciding game. Again, you don't want the dads to ever be put in that position, or you don't want them to be put in that position. But if you have to be put in that position, you want to put your most consistent and your strongest guys forward. So giving, again, Aiden Camberg, Mark Wahlberg, Cam Calvillo a day off is good. And even with them not in the lineup today, I still like this. I still really like what Coach has put together with what he has. You still got consistencies like Isaiah Walker. You have E.J. McGrew, who's been a great pitcher, very consistent. You have Casey Cummings still in the lineup, as I said earlier. I don't know. What do you think, Dylan?
You know, yeah, I think it's smart because if they don't get it done here today, they have Camberg and Calvillo who get the rest day, and then they'll be able to play tomorrow, as you said, with a little rest. I think that's a smart play, but, you know, I do think Camberg's been such a solid hitter this summer. Leaving him out of the lineup it's interesting. I don't know. We'll leave it at that.
Yeah.
For the dads, we'll get into the pitching matchup. It'll be E.J. McGrew on the mound in league this summer, 3-2 with a 3.76 ERA. He started in 6 games this summer, 7 appearances, 23 Ks in just under 29 innings pitched, and he's only given up 9 walks, a very, very low walk rate. Last appearance, he had a career-high 6 strikeouts, so look for him to dominate on the mound. Got the national anthem coming up here shortly, so again, a huge game here for the Crawdads. First place on the line. Olivia, that's it for us.
That's
Thank
it
you
for
for
us.
joining, and go Crawdads.
The losing streak has reached 3. The magic number is still 1, and the Crawdads have struggled. But you know what? The sun still rose this morning. The Crawdads still headed to Sinsheimer, and the Crawdads still have just 1 game to try to clinch first place in the CCL North. Welcome into beautiful Sinsheimer Park here in San Luis Obispo, California. Austin, Carson, Mercier for the penultimate time in the regular season this year. Crawdads 22-13 against the San Luis Obispo Blues, 20-13, just a game separate the two teams. The Crawdads need to win one of their next 2 games to clinch first place in the CCL North. And let's take a look at a very different looking lineup for Brant Cummings as he tries to clinch the North for the first time as manager of the Crawdads. Casey Cummings leads off in center field. Nico DeFazio plays third base and hits second with Cole Kosciuszko. The DH hitting third. Isaiah Walker hits cleanup. Ethan Liao will be in left hitting fifth. Jackson Bird, I'm feeling a big day from him. Out of the 6th spot in right field, Nico Azpilicueta, the first baseman, Ben Royo, the shortstop, Xavier Rios, the catcher, round out the 9. They'll be going up against the righty, Cody Albright.
Albright's been really, really solid. 3-0, 3.11 ERA, making his 8th start of the summer. 34 2/3 innings pitched. 26 strikeouts, 18 walks. The whip a little high at 1.53. He's made a couple of starts recently that have been really, really solid. He's on a roll against an offense that, well, quite frankly, you've been around, hasn't been as good. So we'll see which way the ball turns today.
Blues and Dads for the 4th time this year. This one basically for all the marbles. Blues in their white tops with Blues written in block lettering across the chest. White pants with pinstripes all the way down for the Crawdads. Their red tops with Craw written across the chest. Gray pants, black numbers with white outlining, and high black socks. Cody Albright, Casey Cummings, the leadoff hitter for the Dads, the pitcher for the Blues. Cummings, 223 hitter, 3 home runs, 15 driven in against Albright, who's going to work from the stretch. The first pitch to Casey Cummings is a fastball that misses outside a ball and no strikes. 4:03 start time. It is a beautiful day here in San Luis Obispo. 67 degrees at first pitch. Your first pitch time and temperature brought to you by Meadowlark Dairy, trying to hang on to the Old Town vibe since the early 1900s. Here, a ball off the pitcher, and it rolls to third. Cummings is able to beat it out. And a leadoff knock for Casey Cummings. That's a good start for the Crawdads after they were able to just pick up 4 hits yesterday.
And I think already the Crawdads matched their hard hit total from a night ago. There was no offense. It was non-existent yesterday. Good to see Casey hits in back-to-back days. First time in the leadoff spot in just about a month, or almost a month. So definitely good to see him getting on base and setting the tone for the offense, which they just need something to go right.
And the entire defense for San Luis Obispo is out to the mound to talk to Cody Albright, who's pointing his thumb in the air. He looks like he's all right. He's going to throw a couple warm-up pitches just to make sure. The ball did kick off his front leg. He'll toss in a couple warm-up pitches. Albright, the first pitch he threw of the evening, the first pitch all the way back in his warm-ups, he fell off the side of the mound and almost had to catapult himself back up. And it looks like he's all right here, but funky from Cody Albright early.
Yeah, Albright hit 3 straight starts against, correction, his last 3 starts, 14 innings pitched, only 2 earned runs, only allowed 8 hits. He's been really solid, just to add on to what we were talking about him earlier. And had some trouble early.
Well, here's Nico DeFazio, batting second for the first time this year, .250 average, a home run, 9 driven in. Albright's going to toss over to first, but Casey Cummings is back in. Cummings, a ton of speed, double-digit steals on the year. Creeps 4 steps off the first base bag. Now leans towards second. He'll throw over to first. They've got Cummings picked off. The first baseman, Tollerman's going to throw back to the shortstop, Ardois. Cummings caught in a rundown, back to Tollerman, the first baseman. Tosses to the second baseman, Constantine, and he'll apply the tag. So the leadoff base runner erased. Welcome to late July Crawdads baseball, folks.
Well, that's about the worst thing that could have happened. There goes anything and everything.
Well, here's DeFazio, batting second for the first time this year. Talked to him before the game, and I said 2-hole DeFaz might feed families. He takes the first pitch up high, ball at 1, and he basically agreed. He says, you know what, I'm going to do the job today. He feels like he's been getting some calls going against him unfairly, and I think we can agree with that. A ball and no strikes. DeFazio takes a pitch called a strike on the inside, 1-1. And he said, I think the 1 through 7 hitters, there's some privilege there. They're getting balls, called balls that I'm not. So maybe in the 2 spot, he's hoping something's going to go his way. A ball and a strike. He pops this one up right side. The first baseman, Tollerman, sprinting over. Now he stops in foul ground, reaches to his left, and makes the catch for out number 2.
Well, I know that's not the result that he wanted. He went 1 for 4 the last game he played in. A couple of days ago, didn't play yesterday, but hit multiple balls hard. He's starting to get that line drive swing back that we saw early when he first joined from coming from the Northwoods. And maybe starting to turn a corner a little bit. Not a great result right there.
Here's Cole Kosciuszko, who went 0 for 2 yesterday. Was hit by a pitch twice. The CCL's leader in RBI and home runs. First pitch to him is a fastball that misses high. What we've heard about Cody Albright is a lot of fastballs. The defense, by the way, for slow, Witten, Royal, Hickson-Ball, the outfield from left to right. A ball and no strikes. Kosciuszko slaps it to the left side, foul 1-1. Brendan Comerford, Zach Tollerman, the third baseman and first baseman on the corners. Sam Ardois, Gavin Constantine up the middle with Parker Goff behind the plate. And, of course, Cody Albright on the mound. A ball and a strike to Kosciuszko. Albright, a low set now, delivers. Fastball swung on and missed. Above the strike zone, 1-2. 9 home runs for Kosciuszko, the Crawdads single-season home run leader, at least in terms of CCL play. One more would tie him for Max Farfan and Tyson Pointer last year with 10 overall. 1-2. Slider lined right side, knocking it down is Gavin Constantine, the second baseman. He'll go to first and retire the side. The Crawdads get a hit, but a pickoff leaves the bases stranded. We'll go to the bottom of the first. DJ McGrew on the other side here on the Crawdads Streaming Network. EJ McGrew to the mound for the Crawdads in the bottom of the first. Let's take a look at the Blues 9 that he'll be facing. Ethan Royal, Sam Ardois, Cooper Witten, center field, shortstop, left field with Zach Tollerman, the cleanup hitter at first base. Parker Goff, who's been really good all year. He's behind the plate hitting fifth. Brendan Comerford after a big day yesterday. Bats in the sixth spot. Jake Hicksenbot, Gio Blanchette, Gavin Constantine against the Crawdads lefty EJ McGrew.
EJ McGrew going to have to be the stopper in this one. 3.31 ERA, 4.2 win-loss.
First pitch he throws, misses, and gets to the backstop. That's not a great sign, 1-0.
No, but he's made 8. This is his 8th start of the year, 9th appearance. He's just been really, really solid. Doesn't always have the strikeout stuff, but a ground ball pitcher in a big park with a long leash.
A ball and no strikes. McGrew catches the inside of the zone with the two-seam fastball, 1-1. The numbers for McGrew look almost exactly the same as Cody Albright. A ball and a strike, fastball up high, 2-1. And congrats to EJ. I think this is the first time that he's thrown since the commitment to San Jose State. Go Spartans.
Yeah. Couldn't have happened to a better kid.
Him and Floyd Chalk roaming the same ground. Slider on the 2-1, popped foul off to the right. And someone makes a play on a hop. 2-2.
Love this grass area behind home plate. Little, I don't know, 4 or 5 rows of seats. Then standing room. Seating room with a grass little berm. It's awesome here.
2-2 curveball, flared right side, going back is Bird. He started in, but he's going to square up to make the catch for out number 1. Let's take a look at the rest of the defense. We'll go right to left in the outfield just for fun. We just saw Jackson Burden right, Casey Cummings in center, Ethan Liao in left, best arm, Cummings in center field. Third to first on the infield, Nico DeFazio at third, Ben Royo at short, Isaiah Walker at second, and Nico Azpoqueta at first. Behind the dish is Xavier Rios. That'll bring up Sam Ardois, 200 average, no home runs, 7 driven in for the Longhorn. First pitch to him. Slider on the inside, got the cut, got the miss, nothing in 1. Ardois 0 for his last 12, 5 strikeouts. Not where he wants to be. The ball's in a strike. McGrew, a fastball, sliced right side. That'll get foul, nothing in 2. No score here in the bottom of the first from Sinsheimer. Crawdads were able to get a hit in the first inning, but Casey Cummings was picked off after his leadoff single. 0-2. Fastball, fly to right side. That'll go foul again, and we'll do it again.
It's pretty important for McGrew to match that 1-2-3 from Cody Albright in the top half. I mean, it looked like the Crawdads were going to have something going, obviously, with the leadoff single.
0-2. Slider lofted in the air, deep left field. Liao going back as it starts to carry. On the warning track, he dives forward, and he makes the catch. I have no idea what he saw there. The ball, I think, started to carry and then knocked down by the wind, but he's able to make the catch.
Hey, it doesn't matter how pretty it is. It's a result-based business, and hey, 2 up, 2 down for EJ McGrew, but yeah, I agree with you. It looked high, it looked lofted, like you said. And I saw his reaction. I was like, there's no way that this gets to all the way to the warning track. It didn't. Nice recovery out there in left field.
Here's Cooper Witten, third place hitting left fielder, watches a first pitch fastball, called a ball off the outside. Witten, 220 average, a home run, 10 driven in, though he does have 5 overall extra base hits. 1-0. Change up down low, 2-0. 3 of them triples. But the month of July has not been his friend. Since the 4th, 5 for 31 without an extra base hit. 2-0. Skied right side, pretty deep. Bird going back. Looks like he's got a play in the alleyway. He does, and he makes the catch. For a ground ball pitcher, 3 flyouts. We'll head to the top of the second. A 1-2-3 inning for EJ McGrew when we come back. 4-5-6 in the Dads lineup. Top of the second, Isaiah Walker, Ethan Liao, Jackson Bird to hit against the righty for San Luis Obispo. Cody Albright for his second inning of work. A very efficient first inning where he threw just 9 pitches. The Crawdads have struggled against starting pitching. They've really just struggled offensively of late. Here, Walker, Liao, and Bird will try to change their fortunes in the second. Scoreless, the first pitch to Isaiah Walker is right down the middle for called strike 1. Walker, 320 average, a pair of home runs, 30 driven in. Had 2 walks yesterday, and those were his first 2 walks in 20 days. Here he taps one left side, backing up to get it is Ardois. Fields a high hop, double clutches, throws the first, not in time. Walker beats it out on an infield single.
I've been really impressed with Isaiah Walker. I know this is a pretty stock ground ball, a tough one for Ardois at short because the hops that it was taking, but he's running it out, and we saw his, I don't want to say tempers flare, but maybe a little bit. I mean, he was getting into it with the umpires and making his voice heard, which is something we haven't seen. We saw him take off, steal 4 bags.
First pitch to Ethan Liao is called a strike on the outside, nothing in 1.
He has elevated his level of play. He has stood out since he's come back.
Liao, 295, 2 home runs, 13 driven in, 1 for his last 10. He has really struggled. A 1, line drive left field, that's the base hit for Liao. Going around second, heading for third is Walker, but he'll pull up the brakes. Back-to-back singles. The Crawdads had just 4 hits yesterday, have 3 with no outs in the second.
Yeah, and of course, I mean, of their 4 hits, none of them came in the same inning. So, progress, right? 2 innings so far, an inning plus, 3 hits. Yesterday, 9 innings, 4 hits.
Here's Jackson Bird, 213, 3 home runs, 9 driven in. Big left-handed hitter with power. First pitch, flare, center field, dropping quickly. Royal comes in, it falls, and the bases are going to be loaded for Nico Aspilcueta. The Crawdads had 4 hits yesterday. They've got 4 hits today, and we're only in the second. That'll bring up Nico Aspilcueta. And this is a huge spot for the Crawdads. 7, 8, 9 spots really struggled in the Crawdads lineup yesterday. Liao and Royo specifically combined to go 0 for 8. Here, Aspilcueta, who went 0 for 1 in a pinch hit opportunity yesterday. Bases loaded, no outs. First pitch is a slider that dances off the outside, 1-0. Aspilcueta, 247, 4 home runs, 17 driven in. Is second on the Crawdads in home runs. Has a ton of power. See if he can use it here. 1-0. Fastball paints the outside corner at the knees, 1-1. No score here in the bottom half, or the top half of the second from Sinsheimer. 1 game separates the Crawdads and the second place Blues. The Crawdads trying to lock down first place in the North. 1-1, slider, a generously called strike on the outside, 1-2.
All right, 2 strikes. We've seen this a lot with bases loaded, less than 2 outs in the last 3 games during this losing streak. This is the spot where the Crawdads have not been able to capitalize. You don't got to be a hero. You just need to fight and get the next guy up.
1-2, slider down and away. Goff makes an unbelievable sliding play to keep it in front, 2-2.
CRS should be a stat. I'll say it until it is unbelievable.
2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Corners in for San Luis Obispo. The shortstop, Ardois, tugged slightly to the left side of the second base bag. The 2-2 is up high, 3-2.
I know that Aspilcueta got out in his pinch hitting appearance yesterday, grounded out to second base, but he fought off some 2-strike pitches. He took a 2-strike pitch. I mean, he looked good in the box, and this is a good at-bat so far.
Count is full. Aspilcueta lines it back. This is approach on a fastball down low.
Yeah, it's exactly what you're looking to do. Battle back in a 2-strike hole, make it interesting, foul some pitches off. No, it's no secret that Aspilcueta has struggled with the strikeout at times, but fly ball to the outfield gets the job done in this spot.
3-2. Aspilcueta grounds it softly right side. Tallerman fields, throws home 1. The catcher Goff looks towards first but does not have a play. And Aspilcueta puts the ball in play, just unable to get the job done. And you know what? You still like the approach.
Yeah, I think off the bat, I thought that had a chance to get through, had a chance to be trouble That's a pretty solid play for Tollerman. A first baseman ranging to his right, throwing a strike on to first. And for SLO, that's exactly what you're looking for, just to get an out.
Now it's a strikeout spot for a guy with strikeouts in half of his last 30 at-bats. Bases loaded still for the Crawdads. Not a ton of speed on the base paths. First pitch to Royo, misses up high with a fastball. Did he go? No, says the first base umpire, 1-0. Royo still 233 hitter on the year and does have pretty solid power. 2 home runs, and we've seen it both in batting practice and when he's connected. The ball just jumps. 17 driven in. Liao on third, Bird on second, Azpilicueta on first. A ball and no strikes. Royo takes down and away, ball 2. 0 for 3 yesterday with a pair of strikeouts before getting pinch hit for in the 9th inning for Nico Azpilicueta. Royo in a slump right now, looking to break out of it in a big spot. The 2-0. Royo takes a fastball on the outside, 2-1.
Fine with that take. Really am. Fastball nicely located from Albright. Outer corner. Not a pitch that Royo can crush. He likes it in, middle in.
First baseman Tollerman in, past the cut of the grass. 2 balls and a strike. Royo takes a fastball a little away, 3-1.
Albright's really trying to pepper that outside corner. Now he's got to come to Royo a little bit more here. 3-1, you don't want to walk home a run, especially against an offense that's been struggling. And got to go after him.
3 balls and a strike to Royo. Ground ball left side. Ardois cuts it off in the hole. Goes to third for 1. That's all they'll get. A run comes home. And for the 3rd straight game, the Crawdads have their first run on a bases loaded, fielder's choice.
All right, but it's a lead in the inning isn't over. That could have been 2 potentially, and it wasn't. You'll take the run, you'll take the inning, staying alive. And hey, Xavier Rios gets a base knock here. Casey Cummings is on deck, top of the order. So keep the line moving, keep the pressure on.
Rios 250 average, 2 home runs, 12 driven in. The catcher today for the Crawdads. First pitch is lined straight back. A good cut on a fastball, middle, nothing in 1. Rios also really solid power. He had that stretch where he hit 2 in a handful of games and was showing off the doubles, triples power. That has kind of gone out the door of late. Strikeouts have piled back up. No balls in a strike. Rios fouls a slider back and he's behind 0-2.
2 good cuts here on an 0-2 hole. I mean, you talked about the strikeouts, so they're starting to pile up. 7 in his last 12 at-bats. Got to protect here.
Behind in the count, no balls and 2 strikes with Azpilicueta on second, Royo on first. The Crawdads had the bases loaded, no outs after 3 straight singles, but back-to-back fielder's choices. Yes, they've netted the Crawdads their first run, but they've also put 2 outs on the board. Albright just a strike away from claiming the 3rd. No balls and 2 strikes. Rios takes down and in, 1-2 with a fastball. 1-0, Walnut Creek leads here in the top of the 2nd. The game to potentially decide the CCL North. If the Crawdads were to win today, they would clinch it for the first time under Brant Cummings. A ball and 2 strikes. Rios takes a curveball just a little high, 2-2.
Probably wouldn't take it again. Looked pretty good.
Count is even to Rios. Deuces wild here in the 2nd. Azpilicueta, good lead-off second. The runner on first, Royo, not much of one, even though Tollerman, the first baseman, not holding him on. 2-2. Rios takes a fastball outside, 3-2.
Awesome stuff by Xavier Rios. Not chasing at all here from 0-2 to 3-2. Runner's going to get a head start. A little poke into the outfield. Scores at least 1.
Azpilicueta, a good lead-off second. Like you said, will be running on the pitch, as will Royo off first. Runners go the 3-2. Fly ball right side. That'll go well foul out into the VIP area. We'll do it again. It's a long inning for Cody Albright. He's at 9 pitches coming into the frame. Now has thrown 23 in this inning alone. 3 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Albright comes to the set with the runners going again. The 3-2. Rios fouls it back. Another really good at-bat for the Crawdads here in the 2nd.
Yeah, next pitch of this at-bat will be number 8. So Rios seeing as many pitches as the Crawdads did in the 1st inning.
3 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. The runners, tell me if you've heard this one before, they'll be off. Azpilicueta off second and Royo off first. The 3-2. Runners go. Rios takes inside, ball 4. A terrific at bat by Xavier. Rios loads the bases for the top of the lineup.
That's grit. From 0-2 to 3-2, foul off a couple, draw ball 4 on the 8th pitch of the at-bat to reload the bases and bring up the top of the order. Casey had the hit yesterday. He's in his second at-bat, went 0 for 3, or outside of that, 3 strikeouts, so love to see him with a multi-hit day.
First pitch to him. Slider down and away, and another CRS by Parker Goff behind the plate, ball 1. This is the count that Casey Cummings was in when he singled up the middle back in the first and was picked off. 1-3-6-3-4. Sounds like a password. That was the pickoff move back in the first. 1-0. Casey takes a fastball, called a strike on the outside, 1-1. 1-0. Walnut Creek leads in the top of the second. 3 hits in the inning. Their 4 hits today match the number that they had all day yesterday. The offense has been stagnant for the last week. 1-1. Cummings waves through a fastball off the inside, 1-2. Nico Azpilicueta on third, Ben Royo on second, and Xavier Rios on first. The base is loaded. Albright, a long wait with Cummings ready in the right-handed batter's box. Now he comes set. The 1-2 pitch. Curveball down and away, 2-2. We've seen more slider curveballs from Albright than I think we expected coming into the day. He's gone to it deep in counts against the Crawdads, trying to get chases. They haven't really been obliging. 2 balls and 2 strikes now. Cummings fouls it back. Into the press box.
Dude, if that's on this side, that's in my lap.
Yeah. You make a play.
Yeah, I do. I catch those.
2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs again to Cummings. And you know what? It's possible. Azpilicueta, Royo, Rios all with their leads around the bases. 2-2. Cummings fouls it back again. Another good at bat by the Crawdads.
They are putting the pressure on it. And this is something that we haven't seen in this 3-game losing streak. Not once. They've gotten the bases loaded, but it's been uncompetitive walk, and you know, whatever, blue base hit. They are fighting.
2 balls and 2 strikes again. Cummings takes called strike 3 right on the outside. Frozen with the fastball, was looking for something else. The Crawdads able to score for the first time, draw first blood on 3 hits. No errors and a trio left on. We'll go to the bottom of the second. EJ McGrew trying to put up a scoreless frame on the other side. Dads lead it by 1 here in the bottom of the second. EJ McGrew back for his second inning of work after working a 1-2-3 inning in the first on just 12 pitches. 3 flyouts, 1 to each of the corners. Actually, 2 to each of the, 2 to right field and 1 to left. Here's Zach Tollerman, who watches the slider fall on the outside, 0-1. I'm sure these two played against each other at some point in high school. Tollerman, Berkeley High, EJ, St. Mary's. So close enough. EJ from the Oakland area, Tollerman from Berkeley. Gotta think, at some point, no balls and a strike. Tollerman takes a fastball up and away, 1-1. Tollerman, 273 hitter, no home runs, 5 runs batted in. But the two of these guys will be reunited in the fall at San Jose State. 1-1, line drive right field over the reach of Walker as it dunks in for a base hit. And that's exactly how Zach Tollerman started his day yesterday with a single.
This one just over the head of Isaiah. Give up some fly balls. 395 to dead center, 380 to the alleyways.
2-0. Goff swings and misses. 2-1.
330 to the corners. That's not cheap.
It's a big 330 too. It's the ball does not really carry here. The wind. We found out yesterday. Yesterday was the first time the wind has blown out here all year, and it plays deep. 2 balls and a strike. McGrew from the stretch to Goff. Fastball off the outside, 3-1. 1-0 Crawdads here in the second. McGrew looking to put down a shutdown frame after his team was able to push a run across back in the top half. 3 balls and a strike to Goff. McGrew comes set. Quickly the 3-1. He's down low ball 4. First walk for McGrew. Back-to-back base runners for San Luis Obispo.
Well, not great, obviously. You get the run in the top of the inning. All you want to do is get that shutdown. That 1-2-3. And McGrew's going to have to work hard through this one. But he's a guy that can. He's shown that ability to get out of jams. He's got himself into jams this year. He's certainly gotten himself out.
McGrew against Brendan Comerford, the third baseman. 216, no home runs, 10 driven in. First pitch to him is a fastball right there on the inside, 0-1. Comerford 1 for 4 yesterday, a pair of strikeouts. 20 strikeouts in his last 47 at-bats. Just 3 walks in that stretch as well. 0-1. It's it high towards left field. Pretty shallow. Liao makes the catch as he moves to his left for out number 1.
All right, good to get the 1. Now a ground ball gets you out of the inning. And looked like just, I don't know, off the end of the bat of Comerford. Get out number 1. Now you got lefty-lefty with Hixenbaugh.
Hixenbaugh, though, did have his best day in a while yesterday. Went 1 for 1, doubled, stole 2 bases, scored 2 runs. 213 on the year, no home runs, 3 driven in. Lefty on lefty, the first pitch from McGrew to Hixenbaugh. Front door slider. Maybe a little inside, ball 1.
Good pitch. Really like the idea there from McGrew, too. Front door with the slider. Just didn't get the call, so what?
1-0. Fastball down and away, 2-0. 1-0 Walnut Creek here in the bottom half of the second inning. Runners on first and second. Tollerman and Goff, your runners. Not a ton of speed on the bases for San Luis Obispo, but Tollerman, the runner on second, has a pretty big lead. 2-0. A tapper out in front of home plate as Rios knocks it down actually behind home plate. It was just a big high chop straight up in the air. Two balls and a strike to Hixenbaugh. Infield back. The 3 rightmost infielders are just about all the way back. Third baseman DeFazio in about a step past the cut of the grass. 1-1. Slider miss is maybe a little high. 3-1.
Wow, I don't know.
It's 2 in this at-bat that have gone against EJ.
It's frustrating.
3 balls and a strike. McGrew from the stretch. Slider lofted in the air, left field. Going back is Royo, the shortstop. He cannot make a play. Liao, though, the left fielder, will fire to third and retire the runner. Going from second to third, Tollerman. So a 7-5 putout.
Yeah, no base hit either for Hixenbaugh. That's just fielder's choice. Tough luck. Out number 2.
It's a big league hanging with him.
Yeah.
EJ McGrew will take it. Here's Gio Blanchette. 152, a home run, 4 driven in. Back-to-back base runners to start the inning for San Luis Obispo, but 2 straight outs. First pitch, line drive right side, past the first base chalk, 0-1. McGrew was pretty efficient back in the first inning with just 12 pitches. That pitch number 16 here in the second, which isn't bad. You'd like to be under 30 after 2 innings. Right now sitting at 28. No balls and a strike to Blanchette. Came in as a pinch hitter and took a walk yesterday. 0-1. Misses up high, 1-1. 2 outs in the inning after a single, a walk, a fly out, and a fielder's choice. A ball and a strike now to Blanchette, the designated hitter, hitting in the 8th spot. Waves the bat forward a couple times. Up and down above his right shoulder. McGrew just above the belt, kicks with the 1-1. Slider popped up. Back behind the plate. It'll drop in the grass area. Someone was not looking, and it dropped right in their lap. I never understand how you can hear heads up all around you. You can see heads turning towards you and just not feel anything.
Yeah, it looked like it got him on the calf. Trying to rub that one out. That. Ouchie.
He's got a glove, too. 1-2, slider down and in, 2-2. If you have a glove, have it on, man.
Yeah. Really. If you're bringing your glove to the game, you got to use it.
Right. In that spot, too. I mean, you're right behind home plate. You got to know.
You got to expect it.
2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. McGrew looks to second. No one's holding off the runner tolerant. Now the 2-2 to the plate. Misses way outside. Gets to the backstop as Rios almost overpicked it. I think a passed ball will move both runners up.
Yeah, just a tough one. Looked like Rios was set up, down and in. The pitch was up and away, and well up and away at that. Either way, it's a free 90. And runners on second and third, tying run 90 feet away. Another one of those, and we're all tied up.
3 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. McGrew from the stretch to Blanchette. The 3-2 pitch is right down the middle, called strike 3. Blanchette thought it was a little high. McGrew is able to strand runners on second and third and has some words for the Blues as he walks off the field. We get a big hug from Xavier Rios, and we'll head to the third with the Crawdads leading 1-0. Nico DeFazio leads off the top half of the third inning against Cody Albright. His team, the Crawdads, leading 1-0. DeFazio 0 for 1, popped out to first base in foul territory in his first at bat. First pitch from Cody Albright, the righty, misses down and away with a slider, 1-0.
It was an awesome job by E.J. McGrew in the bottom of the second inning. Really had to work through it. First 2 batters of the inning, able to reach. Run did not score. Now you got to get him some more insurance.
1-0, DeFazio squares to bunt, but pulls back as the ball misses down and away, 2-0.
And I love that right there. Brandon Comerford was playing pretty far back. And so what? Now it's just a ball, 2-0. Hitters count. Big advantage.
Closed off stance for DeFazio, calm in the right-handed batter's box, the 2-0. Fastball up and away, 3-0. DeFazio, you'll take a walk to lead off the inning because he can steal you a base if he gets on. Also, lead off walks feel good. 3 balls and no strikes to DeFazio. Pitch is right down the middle at the knees, 3-1. 1-0 Crawdads here in the third. Albright, a walk and a strikeout so far. 3-1. Check swing liner right side, foul 3-2.
Those ones hurt the most. The check swing, foul balls. That probably would have been a strike, but aggressively wrong, aggressively right. If you're going to get your swing off, get it off.
3 balls, 2 strikes, no outs. Here in the third, the pitch to DeFazio is tapped foul. A good job to stay alive, and we'll do it again.
Yep. It looked maybe on the chalk. I don't know. We have a tough angle to see in and out, but close enough to where he thought it would be a strike. Throws the hands at it, gets a piece, stays alive.
3-2 again to DeFazio. The pitch up high, ball 4. Second walk for the Crawdads, and a good sign. All 3 leadoff base runners have gotten on today for the Crawdads.
That's big. That is really big. Constant pressure. It's what you need. It's what this team has not had.
I also need this guy to start driving in some runs this series. He's now 0 for 3. He's reached base twice on a pair of hit by pitches. First pitch to him is going to be a pickoff move over to first. 1-0 Walnut Creek leads here in the third. Kosciuszko 0 for 1 with a ground out. Setting up on the outside is Goff. First pitch to Kosciuszko is hit sky high to right field. Just got under it. Moving over to his right is Hicksonball, the right fielder, but he gives way to the center fielder, Ethan Royal, who makes the catch for out number 1.
Yeah, looked like a pretty nice swing. Just didn't have that sound, definitely under it, of course, and man.
I'll bring up Isaiah Walker, who's 1 for 1, because of course he is. Runner on first is DeFazio. See if he's got any ideas of going here in Walker's at bat. First pitch. Walker takes a fastball, called a strike at the knees on the outside, 0-1.
I love a good hit and run. I feel like DeFazio wheels, and Walker doesn't swing and miss a whole lot. Put something in play, make something crazy happen.
0-1. Throw over. DeFazio back in well ahead of the throw. Still goes into a head first dive, just for good measure to get the jersey dirty. No balls on a strike.
It doesn't look like DeFazio is going to take off. The lead isn't huge, but he's inching.
0-1. Walker grounds it left side, throw into left for a base as it kicks off the shortstop, Ardois. DeFazio, a big turnaround second, will stop there. He could have gone third because Ardois kicked it again. But a 2 for 2 day for Isaiah Walker.
Yeah, it's tough. By the time that Ardois had kicked it, he had fully thrown on the brakes and taken a step back towards second. That's not something that you can expect. Would have been pretty crazy, right, to take off to third. But you'll take runners on first and second with only 1 out, and a guy that already has a base knock in the game coming up.
Ethan Liao 1 for 1, scored the only run of the day for the Crawdads so far. On the Creek 1, SLO 0. The game to decide first place. First pitch, Liao pops it up right side, foul behind home plate, 0-1. I really liked the swing from Ethan Liao back in the first. Or back in his first at bat, I should say. Crawdads had just 4 hits yesterday, 5 so far today. Had just 8 hits back the other day against SLO. 0-1. Slider outside, 1-1. The offense just has not been good recently. It's been really pretty bad recently. Down under 200 over their last 6 games. 1-1. Liao takes a fastball, a little down, a little away, 2-1. A slight hitter's advantage for Ethan Liao. The Crawdads lead it 1-0 here in the third. A leadoff walk by DeFazio was followed by a fly out to center field from Cole Kosciuszko, then a single by Isaiah Walker. Here 2-1 count to Ethan Liao, who holds the bat high over his right shoulder. Both runners creep off their bases. Good speed both ways for the Crawdads. Liao swings over a fastball on the outside, 2-2. Isaiah Walker has been super competitive recently, just playing with fire that we haven't really seen from him this summer. Nico DeFazio, to his own right on second base, has been the same. He's been taking these days off, taking the slumps a little more personally. 2-2. Liao taps one foul to the right side.
This is, I think, guys on this team are starting to realize some of their last chances. Walker's still uncommitted. Fazio still uncommitted. And there's potentially 3 games left. 2 after today. I mean, you could go one and done in these playoffs pretty easily. Not a lot of time left, so time to prove it. Time to go.
2 balls and 2 strikes to Liao. Both runners creep. 2-2 to the plate. Liao grounds it up the middle into center field. A base hit. DeFazio getting the wave from Cummings around third. He will score. The throw goes back to second. It's not in time. And it's a 2-0 Crawdads. Lead a 2 for today and an RBI for Ethan Liao.
Absolutely. Just up the middle. This one not hit as hard as his swing back in the second inning, but a hit is a hit. Give him an RBI. Situation stays the same. First and second, 1 out. Jackson Bird, he had a base hit in his first at-bat. It was a little dunker. Why not a hard hit one here?
You know what? Jackson Bird, talking to him before the game, I said, Jackson, you know you're one of my favorites, and I'm going to tell you this not just as you being my favorite. You're due for something big today. First pitch to him, runners go. Bird slaps it deep center field, going back Royal. At the track, he will circle up and make the catch on the run. A really, really nice play. Bird gave it a ride. That ball is gone in Monte Vista.
I thought he did it. Oh, what a swing from Jackson Bird. A lot of his power has come to the pull side this summer. Maybe my favorite swing of his all year long. Left center gap, smashed. Just unfortunate that it's 400 feet out there.
Here's Nico Aspoqueta. 0 for 1, grounded into a fielder's choice with the bases loaded back in the second. First pitch to him here. Swing and a miss. A fastball on the inside, 0-1. I told Nico in back-to-back games something big was going to happen to him, and he homered in back-to-back games. So I should have told him something today. No balls and a strike. Big right-handed hitter. First baseman today for the Crawdads. He taps this one to third. Jumping to get it is Comerford. He'll trot to the bag and retire the side, but the Crawdads have scored in back-to-back innings. Ethan Liao's RBI single makes it 2-0. We'll go to the bottom of the third. Jackson Bird is irrelevant right now. He'll be in right field. EJ McGrew out for his third inning of work when we come back. Gavin Constantine leads off the bottom of the third for San Luis Obispo. Crawdads now lead it 2-0 as Constantine takes a fastball on the outside corner at the knees, strike 1. Gavin Constantine, 189 hitter, no home runs, 4 driven in. He takes way outside 1-1.
Maybe one of the heroes in yesterday's game, though.
2 for 2, an RBI, a walk. 1-1 changeup, misses down and out, 2-1.
Good for him. Really was struggling, broken 0 for 15.
2-1, slider in on the hands, got the chase on a ball up high, 2-2. Yeah, his OPS rose 60 points yesterday alone.
With a single.
2 singles.
2 singles.
And a walk.
Yes.
2 balls and 2 strikes. Constantine strikes out swinging, a fastball right down the middle. EJ McGrew said, here's your challenge, hit it. Delete me. Second strikeout, back-to-back for McGrew.
All right. that is the start to the third that we needed. Also needed that in the second inning, didn't get it, but McGrew was able to work out of the trouble. It'd be so much easier if, you know, they just went down 1, 2, 3, didn't get any base traffic, and go to the top of the fourth inning, up 2-0, and trying to just add on to that, opposed to McGrew having to labor here in this inning.
Jim McGrew against Ethan Royal, who's 0 for 1. First pitch fastball, dots the knees on the inside. No balls and a strike. Royal 0 for 1 with a flyout to right field. Jackson Bird made the play in his first at bat. No balls and a strike. Royal watches a fastball outside of 1-1. He has been the key cog in the win streak. 13 for 29, 3 doubles, 11 runs batted in. 1-1 on the inside, a check swing. Did he go? Yes, says the first base umpire, 1-2. 1 ball, 2 strikes, 1 out, and the Crawdads leading by 2-0, looking to clinch the CCL North. 1-2. Big curveball misses up high, 2-2. McGrew the lefty, Royal the righty. Royal taps both sides of home plate. Now ready, the 2-2 is lined to the right side. That'll go foul. Ooh. Ouch. We have a foul ball sponsor. So does San Francisco, but the Blues get a few more fans. 2-2, fastball just a little high, 3-2.
Wow. Good pitch.
I wouldn't take it again. 3 balls and 2 strikes. The pitch from McGrew is down and away, ball 4.
Big swing on the 2-2 pitch, obviously. You know, we right next to the Blues broadcasters, they kind of said the same thing. Not sure where that missed. Unfortunate, and it leads to a 1-out walk. But ground ball gets you out of the inning.
Sam Rodois 0 for his last 13. So how about a double play ball?
Good spot for one.
I like a little 4-6-3.
4-6 there?
Yeah. Rodois right-handed hitter, but I feel like McGrew's gonna use the changeup. First pitch, grounded left side. That'll get foul, 0-1 over towards Brant Cummings, who can't make a play.
Come on, coach.
He tried to field it off the ricochet, and you know, they talk about how right field at Oracle Park in San Francisco is tough. That's what they say about the third base dugout here at Sinsheimer, is the hops are just not as true. No balls and a strike. Drew tosses over, back in safely is Royal. Crawdads 2, Blues nothing, just 1 hit for SLO so far, but a pair of walks. No balls and a strike. Ardois taps it right side. Azpilicueta gets under his glove into right field. Walker, the second baseman, cuts it off. Will plant and fire to third. DeFazio's tag is late. An error for Nico Azpilicueta, and runners on the corners, and talk about a swing.
That's unfortunate. That's got to be an error. I mean, that's under the glove. That is fully under the glove of Nico Azpilicueta. I don't know how you can call that a hit. But that's Nico Azpilicueta's second kind of big error in the past 3 games.
He's going to get lucky because they're going to call it a hit. I don't agree with that.
Just crazy.
Here's Cooper Witten, who's 0 for 1. Runners on the corners now for SLO. First pitch. Down low with a fastball, 1-0.
It's just that goes against the integrity of the game, I feel like.
Is that what they said? You know who they is.
No, but
Oh, okay. That sounds like something they'd say.
it's what I'm saying.
A 1 pickoff move to first. Azpilicueta fields, throws to fakes the throw to second, and there's no throw there. So Nico Azpilicueta is not having his stretch right now.
572, 550, and 572. You head on over to the marketing tent.
There's really no reason to not throw that baseball either, because you get the out, and that's great. You don't, so what? Runner comes home, so what? It's still 2-1. You get an out. Now, runners on second and third, just 1 out. 1-0 check swing on a slider. No appeal from Rios. Now the appeal, and he did not go 2-0.
Well, this inning certainly could have gone another way.
You look back to the 2-2 fastball to Ethan Royal that supposedly missed up high, but didn't get that call. 2-0. Slider on the outside, 2-1. And then, of course, the generously granted single under the glove of Nico Aspoqueta. Two balls and a strike. McGrew delivers a slider off the inside, and Witten goes hacking 2-2.
Don't see that a ton. McGrew, not a whole lot of swing and a miss, especially out of the zone like that. Usually it's the fastball that kind of fools guys with, but that was a back foot slider that Witten just swung over the top of. A beauty.
2 balls, 2 strikes, 1 out. McGrew in a strikeout spot, the 2-2. Slider off the inside, and it hit him. Bases are going to be loaded for the Blues.
I almost don't hate that. Now you got the force. It does load the bases, only 1 out. I don't know. That's frustrating, trying to double up on that slider by the back foot.
And you feel bad for E.J. McGrew. A walk that wasn't his fault, a single that wasn't his fault, now a hit by pitch. Feels like he could have been out of this inning a long time ago. Throw in the pickoff move that he got the runner, and Aspoqueta just failed to throw it. Now the bases loaded, 1 out. First pitch slider misses a little high, 1-0. 2-0 Crawdads, but the Blues with their best scoring opportunity so far. A ball and no strikes to Tollerman, who's already 1 for 1 with a single. The 1-0 misses. Wow, let's retry. 1-0
Oh gosh.
The 1-0 is called a strike on the inside, 1-1. Middle infield double play depth. The shortstop Royo now retreats a little bit to the left of the second base bag. 1-1. Tollerman watches a changeup on the inside, 1-2.
Love it. Good spot, 2 down and in. Perfect location. Pinpoint.
1 ball, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Tollerman open stance. 1-2. Popped up on the infield. Over is Aspoqueta, the first baseman. In fair ground, makes the catch for out number 2.
Big. And it looked like McGrew wanted that one. He bounced off the mound. Looked like he was calling it for a while, but gives way to Aspoqueta. It's much easier of a play for Aspoqueta. He's coming straight in compared to McGrew, who kind of had to take a weird route. Came towards home plate, then bounced towards the line. Infield fly, though, in effect. So even if it had been dropped, it would have been an out. Now 2 outs in the inning.
Parker Goff, the only man in the way of E.J. McGrew in his 3rd straight 0. He walked in his first at bat on 5 pitches. Already a long inning for E.J. Bases loaded, 2 outs. First pitch to Goff. Fastball on the inside corner called strike 1. McGrew now at 23 pitches this inning. No balls, a strike. Pitch. Slider laced left side, foul, 0-2. Now McGrew just a strike away from getting out of this inning and sending us to 4 innings of Carson Mercier.
Yeah, it hasn't been easy for McGrew either. 20 pitches in back-to-back innings. It's tough. Tough stuff.
This will be pitch number 26 in the inning, but all that matters is the 0 on the scoreboard. No balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs with the bases loaded and slow trailing by 2. A hit to the outfield likely ties the game. The 0-2. Fly ball right field deep. Bird sprinting back in the alley makes the catch for out number 3. Jackson Bird in right field for the first time since the last time we were in Southern California. Here he makes a terrific play to end the inning. Slow gets a hit, a walk, a hit by pitch, but they strand the bases loaded. And EJ does a good job to dance through 3 scoreless. Carson will take us through the 7th when we come back.
3.
Top of the 4th inning here at Sinsheimer Stadium. Carson Mercier, Austin Oda along with you. Ben Royo, Xavier Rios, then the top of the order, Casey Cummings to bat in the inning for the Dads. Still Cody Albright. He's been just all right today. As the first pitch to Royo misses outside 1-0. Has allowed 6 hits to the Crawdads, who had 4 yesterday. It was, well, we know, you know, an offensive, well, just disaster for the Crawdads as the 1-0 misses low to Ben Royo. Now 2 balls, no strikes. Has also allowed 2 runs along the way, but has been able to minimize the damage. Bases were loaded in that last inning, and the Crawdads were only able to get the run. 2-0 pitch to Ben Royo. Misses just outside, and it's 3-0. Royo reached back in the second inning on a 6-4 fielder's choice. Right-handed batter ready for the 3-0 pitch. Albright comes home, and the curveball drops in. A strike. It's 3-1. 2 runs, 6 hits, no errors for the Crawdads. No runs, 2 hits, no errors for the Blues. 3-1 pitch. Fastball off the outside, and a leadoff walk for Ben Royo, who's now reached base safely twice today. And the number 9 man, Xavier Rios, is going to come up with a man on and nobody out.
More important than that, the Crawdads have gotten their leadoff base runner on in all 4 innings. That is not something that they've been able to say the last week or so. Here, that's awesome in a must-win game.
Play now on number 9.
So Xavier Rios walked back in the second inning, but it was such a good at-bat. Fell down in the count, 0-2. Saw 8 pitches in the at-bat. Watches the first one here drop in, a strike at the knees. 0-2 to 3-2, fouled off 2 tough pitches, worked the walk. Crawdads had the bases loaded at that point. Casey Cummings would strike out to end the inning. 0-1 pitch. Fastball misses by the hands to even the count. 1 ball, 1 strike. And it was good for Xavier Rios as well, because that's a guy that struck out 7 times in his last 12 at-bats. So for him to be in that 0-2 hole and see multiple 2-strike pitches, didn't chase, didn't give Albright anything. 1-1 pitch, skips in the dirt. A nice stop by Parker Goff, who has worked really hard today. Saved a run back in the second. Is really selling out on those balls in dirt. Royo, the runner, off first. Small lead from him there. Has speed, but hasn't really used it this summer. Not going here as the 2-1 pitch is a line drive down the right field line. A slicing ball that lands just outside the right field line, a foul ball.
Got both of us excited. Looked pretty good off the bat. We haven't seen Royo go the other way a lot, but both times that he did were in the same game. It was against the Legends. He hit both of them for triples. He's got good speed. He's got good power the other way. A lot of his home run power goes left side, but he's got hard hit exit velocity power going the other way.
Yeah, really struggled out of the gate in the start of the summer, but certainly turned it on. 2 balls, 2 strikes, Royo not going, and the 2-2 pitch is fouled back out of play into the hands of Casey Cummings. Made a barehanded snag in the on-deck circle. Pretty casual, too. Flipped it back over to the Blues dugout on the first base side. 2-0 Crawdads, top of the 4th inning. Runner on first and nobody out. A good battle here between Albright and Rios. Albright from the stretch, 2-2 pitch, bounced foul outside of the third base bag, and there will be a 7th pitch of the at-bat. Going
to trot for that ball right now, Ryan Delaney out in left field. He is. There was no chance he was going to pitch this weekend after throwing 5 innings against San Francisco on Wednesday. There is really no reason for him to be as in the game as he is, but he wants to be here. He loves this game. He loves this team, and he's been locked in all weekend.
2-2 pitch, have to wait. Royo back standing after the Albright pickoff attempt.
Got to give my shouts to Ryan Delaney when I can.
Delaney's had some really special moments this year. The numbers might not look perfect, but he's done some outstanding work for the Dads this summer. 2-2 pitch, just off the outside. Stone cold take from Xavier Rios, and the count goes full.
Wouldn't take it again. It's been a pretty tight zone behind the plate. I like it. It's not very CCL North like.
3 balls, 2 strikes. Albright looking for out number 1 in the top of the 4th. He'll do it with a pickoff attempt, but Royo back standing. Royo's only stolen 2 bags on the summer. Hasn't really attempted to steal at all. Payoff pitch to Rios is a fastball taken, strike 3. Rios was ready to toss the bat down to the third base dugout. Instead, it's a looking strikeout for the first out of the inning.
And you know what? I almost never say this about called strike threes. I still don't hate the at-bat. Fouled off some pitches with a 2-strike count. Took a tough pitch with in the 2-2 count. Worked it to 3-2. You work along at bat, you're not unhappy, especially from your 9-hitter.
Xavier Rios has had 2 at-bats. He's seen 16 pitches. Here's Casey Cummings, who struck out for Albright's first strikeout of the day. Takes a fastball and a strike here, 0-1. It was a big spot. Bases loaded and 2 outs. Your leadoff man. But Casey couldn't get the bat off his shoulder. Albright's 0-1 pitch. Fastball high and a little bit outside. And the count evens, a ball and a strike. 2-0 Crawdads, top of the 4th inning. They've scored in each of the last 2 innings and have really made Albright work as time is called behind home plate. 32 pitches Albright had to throw in the second, 19 in the third.
Already 14 in this inning. Some action in SLO's bullpen. Crawdads would love to get to that bullpen.
Ball and a strike. Fastball, line drive, right field, but not well struck. Right fielder Jake Hicksonbaugh is there for the second out of the 4th inning. Yeah, you talk about wanting to get to that bullpen. I mean, from what we know, what we've been told, that Blues bullpen is on its kind of last leg as the season comes to a close.
Yeah, there was a point where SLO only had 10 pitchers on its roster. Pretty recently, you look at the roster. Jackson Howell is going to be out today. Bradley Waite, who we saw yesterday, is going to be out today. There's a couple guys that are still rostered that are ineligible to pitch or injured. So it's a pretty slim bullpen.
Snap throw down to first after the first pitch is a ball. Royo's back standing. DeFazio stands in from the right side, 0 for 1. Scored the lone run in the 3rd inning after drawing a leadoff walk. Another small lead for Ben Royo off first base. He's going to take off here. Stops halfway through, but then just decides to keep going as Albright just never noticed him, and it's a stolen base for Ben Royo.
It almost looked like he tripped. I couldn't tell if it was a start and a stop or just a trip. Whatever it was weird.
I think what happened is he took off before Albright started to come towards home plate, realized I'm going to get picked off, stopped. Albright had come toward home plate, and Royo saw that and said, all right, I'll just go. As the 2-0 is in there for a strike, it's 2-1.
But it worked out.
Yeah. Best case scenario is now there's a runner in scoring position for Nico DeFazio, who started to come around a bit. Had a couple of hard hit balls a couple of days ago. Of course, got yesterday off. Royo's doing some dancing off second base. Trying to extend, will not be running as the 2-1 pitch misses by the hands, and it's 3-1 to the Crawdad third baseman.
If he gets on base twice today, I think you're pretty happy with that. So another walk here or a single to maybe score a run, you're pretty happy about that from DeFazio, who's been scuffling a little bit, looking for a knock, looking for a good at-bat, continues to put them up.
2 outs in the top of the 4th inning and a runner on second base. Albright home, changeup bounced foul. That's just outside the third base bag. And the count will fill now. 3 balls, 2 strikes. Albright comes set at the belt. Here's the payoff pitch. Fastball hit on the ground, 2 hops for the third baseman Comerford. A look back to Royo at second. He'll throw across to first and retire DeFazio for the 3rd out. Leadoff walk for Ben Royo, but the Crawdads go 1-2-3 after that. Played 3.5 at Sinsheimer Park. 2-0 Crawdads lead. Last of the fourth inning here at Sinsheimer Park. Brandon Comerford will lead it off. First pitch swinging, pops it up down the first base line. Azpilicueta in foul ground now bounces back towards the line and can't make the catch. Been a tough day for Azpilicueta, who's not charged with an error back in the last inning very well. Could have a ground ball, got through the infield on a pickoff attempt. They had a man caught in between the bases, didn't make a throw to second base, and that one right there lets the ball fall in foul ground, which could have been out number one for E.J. McGrew, who's had to work really hard as the 0-1 pitch is chased, a fastball up and out of the zone. Comerford's down in the count, 0-2. McGrew, 21 pitches in the second, 25 in the third. 0-2 pitch, swing and a miss, quick work of Brandon Comerford. Third strikeout for McGrew and the first out of the fourth.
Uno dos, adios. Foul, fastball, I'm better than you, good luck.
We were just talking about E.J. McGrew in the break, how a 9-pitch inning would be pretty awesome. Well, he's on pace. Here's Jake Hicksonbaugh, takes a fastball, a strike. It's 0-1. Hicksonbaugh reached back in the second. 7-5 fielder's choice. 0-1 pitch. Misses just a little bit high. So count evens 1-1. Hicksonbaugh would have been a base hit into left. Just dunked it in front of the left fielder, Ethan Liao. 1-1 pitch, swing and a miss, and it's 1-2. But the runner on second base, Zach Tullerman, had to wait and see. It was one of those in-betweeners. He got thrown out at third. 1-2 pitch from McGrew. Fastball bounced high on the ground to shortstop. Royo has to wait for the low hop. The throw has no shot, and it'll be an infield single for Jake Hicksonbaugh.
Man, you feel bad for E.J. McGrew. He's had to work so much harder than he should. That one is a hit almost every day. Just how slow it's hit, and Hicksonbaugh is kind of slap and dash speed. But you think about the pop-up that started this inning, probably should have been caught.
So Gio Blanchette, the DH, right-handed batter, will bat with a runner on first and one out. 2-0 Crawdads leading in the bottom of the fourth. Lefty delivers, fastball. Blanchette checks his swing, but it misses down and out. 1-0. Blanchette struck out to end the second inning. Struck out looking with runners on second and third. 1-0 count as McGrew stares down Hicksonbaugh on first. It'll go over, but Hicksonbaugh is back standing. You knew that yesterday's crowd here at Sinsheimer was going to be pretty good with fireworks night. It's pretty much the same here today. 1-0. Foul ball. Grounder down the right field line, and the count evens 1-1. Wind blowing out to left field, which hasn't been a thing that's really happened here all year long. 1-1 will have to wait. Another throw over to first. Nate Mills, SLO Blues broadcaster yesterday, was telling us how rare of an occurrence it is. But even then, with the wind blowing out, not a lot of balls get out of here. Ball and a strike. Runner takes off. Pitches called a strike. Throw down to second base is not in time. Hicksonbaugh gets in just ahead of the throw. A perfect strike from Rios and a good tag by Isaiah Walker. But Hicksonbaugh steals his 11th bag of the year.
Looked like Rios dropped down a little bit from where he normally throws the ball behind the plate. That might have caused that ball to sail just a little bit. Looks like it had a little bit of rise that ended up making the difference between Hicksonbaugh getting in.
1-2 pitch. Swing and a foul tip in and out of Xavier Rios' glove. So a runner on second base here in the bottom of the fourth inning with the Crawdads leading 2-0, trying to snap their 3-game losing streak and snap a 9-game winning streak for the SLO Blues. McGrew comes set. His 1-2 pitch is a changeup flared into center field right at Casey Cummings. Doesn't have to move. Hicksonbaugh is going to bluff the tag, and it's a good idea. A one-hop strike from Casey Cummings in center keeps the runner on second base, and there's 2 gone in the inning.
I've heard rumors that if the Crawdads win today, someone on the field, I'm not going to name who, but maybe someone relevant to that play is going to throw an inning tomorrow. Just rumor.
Per who?
My sources. Woj.
Okay. You can never give away your sources.
No.
Here's Gavin Constantine. Blues second baseman 0 for 1, batting out of this number 9 spot. Southpaw comes home and a swing and a miss. It's 0-1. I know that Constantine had 2 hits yesterday. One of them, complete snappage of the barrel. The swings have really not looked pretty. 0-1. Fastball just below the knees to even things up. 1-1. He's been really late on fastballs. And he's gotten a little bit lucky. 1 ball, 1 strike, and 2 outs. Runner on second base. McGrew comes home. Here's a grounder back up the middle. Walker ranging to his right. It's off his glove and into center field. Nixonbaugh is being waved around. He will score as Casey Cummings had some trouble. It's an RBI single for Gavin Constantine. And he continues to kind of just kill the Crawdads in this 2-game series.
Now overall, 4 for 8 with a double and 2 RBI for a guy that's sub 200 against the Crawdads this year. A Crawdad killer at its finest. And that one hurts. Looks like it hit 3 different guys before it ended up in center field. McGrew might have gotten off the tip of Walker's glove, and then, of course, unable to make the play in center was Casey Cummings. That's tough.
And it's big because it brings up the top of the order, Ethan Royal. Center fielder came into this game 7 for his last 10. McGrew comes home in the first pitch. Not sure where it misses, maybe outside. It's 1-0. Royals 0 for 1 today. Walked in the third, but was left there after McGrew was able to strand the bases loaded. 1-0 slider in the dirt, gets away from Rios. Taken off for second is Constantine. There will be no throw, and the tying run is in scoring position.
All right. So what? Got to get this out. Guy on second doesn't matter. Focus on the guy at the plate. I think McGrew, with the 1-run lead, obviously don't want that run to come home and score, but got to get this guy. Don't want to keep the inning going.
2 balls, no strikes. McGrew, a high leg kick, comes home with the fastball on the corner. And pinpoint accuracy for the first strike. Two and 1 pitch. Fastball. Royal a little bit late, gets a piece and skies it over the grass area. The count will even, 2 balls, 2 strikes. Now 4 hits for the Blues. Got 2 here in this inning. Both singles. All 4 of their hits singles. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs, and a runner on second. 2-2 pitch, fouled back and out of play. We'll do it again. Almost up to 80 pitches already for E.J. McGrew in just 3 2/3 innings of work. Next pitch will be number 80. Had to work hard. From the first base side of the rubber, 2-2 pitch. Flip foul. We'll do it again.
Almost the exact same spot 3 straight times. The Crawdads do have an arm warming up in their bullpen. Looks like Nick Bronzini getting loose out in the third base pen.
And he's a guy that could give you some length. Seen him go 3-4 innings at times. Could also just go 1 or 2 depending on really what you need him for. Maybe trying to set something up for the upcoming playoffs. 2-2 pitch. Fastball is bounced on the ground right side. 2 hops for Walker. Fields it head high, throws to first, and retires Royal for the 3rd out. But 2 hits, a run, a man left in scoring position as the Blues are able to cut the deficit in half. 2-1 will go to the top of the 5th. 2-1 ball game as we go to the top of the 5th inning. Crawdads still leading as they come to bat. Kosciuszko, Walker, and Liao against the new pitcher, a righty, Eddie Tierney.
Tierney has been pretty solid this summer. 1-2 win, lost 4.12 ERA, 3 saves, 21 strikeouts, 11 walks, 28 1/3 innings, coming off a game against Menlo Park where he went 2 innings of 1-run ball.
First pitch to Kosciuszko misses outside, 1-0. It was an RBI single for the number 9 man, Gavin Constantine, in the bottom of the 4th inning. That got the Blues on the board. Already his 3rd hit of this 2-game series as Kosciuszko takes a 1-0 pitch that's in there for a strike, 1-1. Kosciuszko 0 for 2, ground out to second, fly out to center field. 1-1 pitch from the righty. Fastball flared the opposite direction, and Kosciuszko's in a 1-2 hole. We saw Tierney warming up yesterday. The only way I can say that for sure is because he's got the funky sidearm delivery. Not completely dropping down, but low 3/4. 1-2 pitch. Misses inside to even the count, 2-2.
Well, he's got the low drop down, and he also has he cocks his arm really, really short when he goes back. It's not a big, long T like you're kind of taught traditionally. It's very short with the arm motion.
2-2 pitch, swing and a miss. Eddie Tierney strikes out the first batter he faces here in the 5th inning, and there's one gone.
That was nasty. Fastball up and away, had some ride on it. Tierney really just has one stretch of poor appearances this year where he gave up runs in 4 consecutive outings from June 28th to July 10th. 5 of those coming in a game against the Riptide, but outside of that, he's been pretty nails for slow.
First pitch to the right-handed hitting Isaiah Walker misses outside, 1-0. Just the 3rd strikeout for Crawdads batters. At this point yesterday, they had 6. 1-0, swing and a miss, and it's 1-1. 13 total yesterday. It was rough.
Ugly.
1-1. Misses in the dirt, and it's 2-1. But 6 hits on the day for the Crawdads, 3 in the 2nd, 2 in the 3rd. Yeah, bats have all around looked better today than they have really in the past week. 2-1 misses inside, and 3-1 to Isaiah Walker.
And I think there's just a sense of urgency in the Crawdads today that we haven't really seen. Working deeper at bats, fighting off more 2-strike pitches, making 2-strike adjustments.
3-1. Walker, big cut, but fouls it back down the first base side of things, almost straight over the Blues. Dugout, and the count will fill 3 balls, 2 strikes. Cody Albright was solid today. 4 innings, 6 hits, 2 runs, 3 walks, 2 strikeouts as the Blues starter. 3-2 pitch is bounced foul off of Walker, and we'll do another 3-2. Crawdads made him work pretty hard. 82 pitches in his 4 innings of work.
And that's after throwing just 9 in the first, 32 in the 2nd, 19 in the 3rd, 22 in the 4th. That's good to see.
The 3-2 is hit off the hands, straight back into the net. Walker continues to put up good battles. We're saying it time and time again. This is what he does.
Yeah, he had an 0 for 5 the day he got back from his little hiatus and really didn't look great. Struck out once, had a couple hard hit balls, but since then he's been exactly the Isaiah Walker we've expected.
3-2, hit off the hands again. This time a sinking liner into right field just in front of Hicksenbaugh. A wide turnaround first for Isaiah Walker, but he'll hold it up there. And that's the 3rd hit on the day for Isaiah.
I was right about that one. I'll take my credit there. Isaiah Walker is awesome.
He now hits in 17 of his last 18 games.
And the only one he didn't get a hit in, he had just taken a week off of seeing a live pitch. And so I'll give him a little.
And he hit the ball hard.
Hard.
Multiple times in that game. Nathan Liao now, right-handed hitter, will take a ball 1-0. But coming in today, hits in 16 of his last 17, 28 for 82, 341 stretch for him. At one point in the year, about halfway through, he was hitting in the 250s. He's all the way up by 330 at this point. 1-0 will have to wait his throw over, but Walker's back in a dive.
He's pretty good stretch.
Yeah, he's been awesome, and certainly deserving of batting where he has, in the 4 spot pretty much all summer long. And a stop after starting as the 1-0 is fouled back, 1-1. Not afraid to steal. We saw him on the run all day yesterday. Officially 2 stolen bags, but I think maybe scoring mishap, perchance.
Yeah,
1-1 again. We'll have to wait.
big time mishap.
Because he did steal 4
Scored-
bags.
He stole 4.
He stole 4 bags, yeah.
He also walked twice yesterday. Those are his first walks since back on July 7th. So the all-around game starting to come together a little bit as well.
Now they're starting to stop as this one is hit on the line right into the glove of Tollerman. He'll step on first and end the inning. No runs hit, no runners left on. We'll go to the bottom of the 5th inning. 2-1, Crawdads lead.
But the defense definitely has not helped EJ McGrew today. Only 1 run allowed, but he's had to work harder than he should have.
1-1, line drive, right center field. Bird racing back. He's not going to get it. It's over his head. Casey Cummings fields it on a hop, spins, turns, throws into the cutoff man, but it's a leadoff double for Sam Ardois.
Now EJ's going to have to work from the stretch. Runner on second, heart of the lineup due up. And Nick Bronzini nowhere to be seen. He's not even warming up in the Crawdads bullpen anymore, so you have to assume this is just about EJ's inning to finish.
Drew has really had to labor. 21 pitches in the second, 25 in the third, 23 in the fourth. The Blues have had traffic. They left 2 on in the second. They left the bases loaded in the third. And a runner on in the fourth as well. Nobody out, runner on second, and Witten will take down low for ball 1. Witten 0 for 1, a fly out to right. Got hit by a pitch and a 2-ball, 2-strike count back in the third. Decent sized lead for Ardois off second, not being held on. McGrew a long hold. He'll come home and miss down and away. It's 2-0. It's just the 5th hit that McGrew has given up today. Also issued a couple of walks and the hit by pitch. McGrew staring down Ardois, who's just bouncing back and forth as the 2-0 is rolled down the third base line. McGrew gloves it, spins, throws to first. It's up the right field line, into right field. The game is tied. As moving into second base is Cooper Witten. I think it's got to be a single and an error.
Home plate umpire pointed to the runner on second. Is there like an obstruction possibility somewhere? I guess not. He jumped out and was waving his arms. You're right, single and an error.
One of those do or die plays for EJ McGrew. Wouldn't have even hated had he not thrown that ball. It looked like Witten had that one beat. And, well, the error will cost him as the game is now tied, and there's still a runner on scoring position with nobody out. Tollerman will take a strike at the knees. It's 0-1. Just pretty unfortunate.
I think Nick Bronzini is just about ready. I see him. I think he was just hidden back there, but he's definitely pretty close to ready in the Crawdads bullpen.
No balls, a strike. Fastball just off the outside. It's 1-1. So back-to-back base runners, back-to-back base hits for the Blues here in the 5th inning. Able to tie the game at 2. 1-1 pitch. Southpaw comes home and finds the inner part of the plate, a called strike 1 and 2. Talking about the Crawdads offense, first 3 innings, really good. They had 6 hits. They have 1 in just the 4th and 5th. Back to the struggles. 1 and 2, laced down the left field line, but it just hooks foul.
Cleared it out. Ball down and in by the shoe tops. Dug it out, went and got it. And I wouldn't throw him that one again.
Tollerman's 1 for 2, singled in the 2nd, and popped up on the infield in the 3rd. In a 1 and 2 hole, here's the pitch from McGrew. Slider hit off the hands, but it'll get down just in front of the Blues dugout. That'll be another 1-2 pitch. McGrew has only completed 5 innings once this summer. Most of his starts, he's just gone 4, got taken out. Not sure how much is left in the tank. Spin off the back of the mound.
He was at a relative innings limit before the year, somewhere around the 40 inning mark. You think, okay, 10 weeks, 10 starts. That's 40 innings, 4 innings to start. You're feeling good.
1-2 pitch. Fastball high. That evens count. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Pitch count in the 90s. Next pitch will be number 94 for McGrew. Witten leads off second base. 2 balls, 2 strikes. McGrew looking for the first out of the bottom of the 5th. High leg kick comes home, and a changeup is taken in the dirt. Count goes full. 3 balls, 2 strikes.
This is probably McGrew's last hitter. Looks like Braden Barnes is getting loose, at least standing up in the bullpen as well.
McGrew set, working quicker to the plate. Here is the 3-2 pitch. Swung on and missed. 3rd strikeout for E.J. McGrew is the first out of the 5th inning.
That's big. 3-2. Looked like he went to the changeup, dropped it below the zone, got the chase. And the strikeout stuff, like we said, isn't necessarily there all the time. That's just number 28, now up around 35 innings. But when he needs it, he can go to it, and he'll get it.
And it looks like McGrew's staying in the ball game with 1 out, still a runner on second. Parker Goff, who's been good on the summer, will stand in from the right side. The Blues catcher 0 for 1 with a walk. Witten does some dancing off second. He's not going anywhere as a first pitch fastball skips in the dirt. And nice stop by Rios back of home plate as the count goes to 1-0. Mid-90s pitch count for E.J. McGrew. Can't imagine he goes more than 100.
I think this should be his last batter.
Gonzini's been throwing for a while. 1-0 pitch. Slider goes to the back foot. A check swing, but Goff does not go around. It's 2-0. Maybe not a check swing. Like he's just going to get out of the way of it more than anything.
It looks like McGrew's starting to get a little short as well, both the arm action and the extension towards home plate.
Witten really dancing. 2-0 is in there for a strike. I don't know, Witten's just trying to throw McGrew off his game a bit. Big shuffle steps towards third. We'll go back towards second, all while McGrew is staring at him. It's not really being held off of second. 2-1 pitch. Slider, swing and a miss. A really nasty one there that had Goff out in front, and the count evens 2-2.
Yeah, the stuff's still dancing for McGrew. Now it's just grit.
2 balls, 2 strikes, 1 out. Bottom of the 5th inning, and a 2-2 ball game between the Blues and Crawdads. E.J. McGrew comes set at his belt. High leg kick, fastball is fouled off. Looked like it may have gotten a piece of Xavier Rios, but he didn't really care. He was instantly pointing back to E.J. McGrew. Loved the pitch that had just come out of his hand.
At pitch number 100 for McGrew. He said he wanted to be here. I mean, he threw, 80 innings in the spring. He's at 40-ish this summer. He's got the rubber arm. He doesn't care. He likes throwing.
2 balls, 2 strikes. Long hold at the top of the rubber. Witten starting to stop. Swing and a miss on a pitch down below the zone. Back-to-back Ks for the second out of the 5th, and Witten stays put on second.
E.J. McGrew the changeup was kind of his first best pitch, if that makes sense. It was a pitch that he really went to when he was younger and just needed something to go to. He's been working in the slider, he's been working the fastball at different spots in the zone. Now goes back to the OG bread and butter, and back-to-back strikeouts on that pitch.
And staying in the game after back-to-back strikeouts. Here's Brendan Comerford, Blues third baseman. He's 0 for 2 with a strikeout of his own. Right-handed batter. First pitch swinging and a foul ball back our direction for our heads, and it's 0-1. For 100 pitches for E.J. McGrew. Ronzini's been ready, but 5 or more strikeouts in each of his last 2 starts. Had 6 against Sonoma last week and 4 shutout innings. He's had to work a little bit harder today. 0-1. Fastball misses inside, and the count evens 1-1. Inning started with a double of Sam Ardois. Cooper Witten singled him home in quotations. There was an error on the play. Allowed Witten to get on second base where he stands, then back-to-back strikeouts. Ball and a strike on Brendan Comerford. Runner goes, throw down to second is a little bit low. Dug out by DeFazio, but the tag more of just a courtesy. And a stolen bag for Cooper Witten.
And I don't think that run really matters at all, or that runner matters at all. McGrew's focus again is all on the guy at the plate right now. Comerford 0 for 2, trying to make it 0 for 3, and end this inning tied.
McGrew will stay from the stretch. 2-1 fastball skied into left field. Park will hold it. Liao right in his foot tracks makes the catch for the final out of the 5th inning. E.J. McGrew was fantastic here today. 5 innings, 2 runs, gives up 6 hits, but a run comes home in this 5th inning on 2 hits as the Blues leave a man on third. We'll go to the 6th, tied at 2. Top two teams in the CCL North tied at 2 as we go to the top of the 6th inning. Jackson Bird, Nico Azpilicueta, and Ben Royo for the Crawdads. On the other end, EJ McGrew, I think his day is going to be done. He was awesome. 5 innings of 2-run ball, 2 walks, 5 strikeouts. Going to leave without a decision, as the first pitch to the left-handed hitting Bird is a slider out of the hand of Eddie Tierney that misses outside. It's 1-0.
Hey, you don't know that.
Is that a
That's a
100?
good score here. You could get the
He
decision.
could. 1-0. And this one's in there for a strike. I thought it was the inning that you pitched.
No. He's technically still in the game right now.
You're right. So for now, not a part of the decision. If the Crawdads were to score, that would change. 1-1 pitch, fouled back, and out of play. 1-2. 7 hits for the Crawdads, 6 for the Blues. Crawdads had 4 yesterday. At bats have been a lot better, but still they're struggling. 1-2 pitch. Tierney misses outside. Tierney worked a 1-2-3 fifth inning. After Walker singled, Ethan Liao lined out to third. All Tullerman had to do was step on first base. Kind of a bang-bang play. Tough luck for Walker. 2-2 pitch to Bird. Slider popped up just back of the infield. Third baseman Comerford gives way to the shortstop, Sam Ardois. He makes the catch for the first out of the 6th inning.
I know that at bat didn't necessarily show it, but Jackson Bird in his player introduction, one of the questions that we ask is, what are you looking forward to this summer? He said, he was the only guy that said, I want to win a championship. And I have a feeling Jackson Bird is going to do something. On the mound, at the dish, something in the Crawdads championship run.
Here's Nico Azpilicueta, who's 0 for 2, but has reached base technically in both of his at-bats. As the first pitch misses inside, 1-0. Reached on a 1-2 fielder's choice in the second and a 5 unassisted fielder's choice in his next at-bat that was in the third. 1-0 is hit off the end of the bat and out of play, 1-1. Right-handed hitter with tremendous power waits for the 1-1. And Tierney fires in a fastball strike on the corner, 1-2. Tierney is a tough at-bat.
Not an easy guy to do it against, especially as a righty.
Infield, outfield, straight up with the wind blowing out to left field as the 1-2 pitch misses outside, 2-2. This is a trip that was hyped up all summer long. I think from game 1 we were talking about the slow trip, and it is yet to disappoint. The weather last night, perfect. The weather today, even better. 2-2 pitch, sharp line drive back up the middle into center field, and a base hit for Nico Azpilicueta, who's got his first.
I think something's starting to turn around for Nico Azpilicueta too, because the exit velocities all year have been there. Now he's starting to get some of them to drop. When he puts the ball in play, it's hit hard, and that's a good at bat. 2-2, took a slider on the outside and took it up the middle. Really, really nice job.
So with a runner on first and 1 gone, Crawdads will have the shortstop Ben Royo in the right-handed batter's box. 0 for 1 with a walk, takes a strike here. A slider that kind of had him bending over backwards. It's 0-1. Royo walked, stole the bag in the 4th. He's a guy that could get it going and really help out the bottom part of this Crawdads lineup. Might not come here as there's a ground ball right to the shortstop Ardois. Flip to second, 1 on to first in time, an inning-ending double play. Back-to-back innings, the Crawdads get doubled off to end their inning. Tied at 2 going to the bottom of the 6th here at Sinsheimer. To the bottom of the 6th we go, all tied at 2. Crawdads turning to another southpaw. Now Nick Bronzini.
Bronzini's been unbelievable. The number that stands out is the strikeouts. 36 of them in 20 and a third innings, 14 walks is relatively high, but you don't really care with how many guys he's striking out. Just 15 hits allowed, a 2.66 ERA, and an 0-1 record.
Will come in to face Jake Hicksonbaugh, Gio Blanchette, and Gavin Constantine. It's 7-8-9 for the Blues. Lefty-lefty to start as the first pitch to Hicksonbaugh is a fastball and a strike, 0-1. Bronzini relieving McGrew. We've talked about it. He's awesome. 5 innings, 6 hits, 2 runs, 2 walks, 5 strikeouts, and one of, if not the biggest start of his Crawdad career. A 1 swing and a miss. And strike 2. Crawdads a chance to clinch first place for the first time in program history. Magic number has been 1 for the past 3 games. Crawdads have lost all 3. Bronzini in an 0-2 advantage to the first guy he faces. His 0-2 offering is a slider in the dirt, and it's 1-2.
You'll see a lot of cut, a lot of slide with Nick Bronzini, a lot of east to west. Doesn't go north-south as much. We haven't really seen a changeup from him, but the cutter, the slider, those are the big bread and butter pitches, and both of them can get chases, both of them can get whiffs.
1-2. Fastball at the knees and strike 3. Hicksonbaugh goes looking. There's the first out and first strikeout for Nick Bronzini.
Alexa, play my hero, Nick Bronzini. You're awesome. I told him today, I said, Nick, I love you, but you might have the worst swing I've ever seen. It's pretty bad.
Like baseball swing. Yeah.
He was kind of offended. I said, and he said, I was the only one that was hitting liners, pitcher batting practice the other day. And I said, you know what? I'll give it to you.
Here's Gio Blanchette, who's 0 for 2. Right-handed batter. Rio setting up on the outside. First pitch is bounced 2 hops to DeFazio. Has to move a little over towards his right. His throw across is in plenty of time to get Blanchette. And there's 2 up, 2 down in the 6th. Bronzini kind of responsible for that pitcher shutout BP day.
Yeah.
Crawdads won 3-0 against the Merchants. Cal Johnson went 7 scoreless. Bronzini came in for the final 2. Walked a couple, struck out 3, but I mean, without his efforts, he wouldn't have even gotten the chance to take BP.
It's true. He said he hit in high school and was a singles hitter, and it showed.
Yeah. Here's Gavin Constantine. Number 9 man will take a fastball strike, 0-1. Constantine 1 for 2, an RBI single back in the 4th that got the Blues on the board. All tied at 2 here in the bottom of the 6th inning as the 0-1 is right at the knees and quickly ahead is Bronzini. It's 0-2. Working quickly from the stretch as always. 0-2 pitch. Fastball. And he blew it by him. Constantine goes down swinging for the 2nd time today. Bronzini works a 1-2-3 6th with a couple of Ks. Tied at 2. Let's go to the 7th here at Sinsheimer Park. Crawdads trying to avoid losing 4 straight games for the first time since July of 2022 here in the top of the 7th inning. Tied at 2 with the SLO Blues. Only a game separates them with 2 to play for the Crawdads, or 1.5, 1 1/3 games left, and just this for the Blues. First pitch in there for a strike to Xavier Rios to lead off the inning. Rios, Cummings, and DeFazio 9, 1, and 2. Still Eddie Tierney on the hill for the Blues. An 0-1 slider backs up on him, misses inside, and it's 1-1. That 4 straight came July 13th through July 16th against the Mudcats, Prune Packers, Potters, and Stompers. 1-1. This is below the zone, and it's 2-1. Kind of a similar stretch that the Crawdads are in now. You're reliving some poor memories, I'm sure. Not good times. 2-1. Another slider, another strike, and it's 2-2.
The only time I've ever gone silent on a broadcast, I was sitting right here, and I had my mom text me and ask if I was there still, and that's what it felt like.
2-2. Fastball outside corner and called strike 3. So Eddie Tierney picks up his second strikeout. Rios goes looking for the second time today. There's the first out in the top of the 7th.
Yeah, that was one of the worst stretches of baseball I've seen the Crawdads have. And it's pretty comparable to this one, honestly. It was just the pitching was okay. The defense and offense were not in that stretch, and that's what it's been like for the Crawdads here in this little skit.
So top of the order, Casey Cummings, 1 for 3 on the day. Takes outside, looked like a sweeper from Tierney, and it's 1-0. Yeah, Crawdads got outscored 24-8 in that stretch. The last 3 games, Crawdads getting outscored 15-9, but the grand slam from Cole Kosciuszko a couple of games ago as the 1-0 is in there for a strike. It's almost like putting lipstick on a pig.
And in that stretch, the difference is the Crawdads weren't chasing anything, really. They knew they were going to get second place. They knew they were going to make the playoffs.
1-1 to Cummings is going to be a fastball that's taken in the dirt, 2-1.
And this time it's different because the 1 seed in the CCL North is huge, has massive implications. The bye is gigantic. That stretch 2 years ago, every team made the playoffs. The only difference was seeding.
2-1. This is just outside. Couldn't quite tell what the pitch was, but looked like it had some cutting action. And the count goes to 3-1 on Casey.
Obviously not every team made the playoffs, but all teams that made the playoffs had pretty much the same schedule. There were no byes.
3-1. Fastball inner corner and a called strike to fill things up. 3 balls, 2 strikes.
We saw last year how important that bye is. Both of the teams that made the CCL championship last year were the 1 seed because there's only so many arms going around at the end of the summer. And when you have to use some on a Tuesday and a Wednesday, it becomes tough.
3-2. Bounced on the ground off of the third baseman gloves into left field. Got to be a base hit. Casey's not thinking 1. He's going to second. The throw there not in time. In ahead of the throw as Casey goes feet first into second base. Give him a base hit.
Give him a double. I'll fight for that one. Give him a double. Yes, double. Casey needed it.
So Casey with a multi-hit game for the first time since the middle of July. A 1-out double to set the table for the Dads with 1 out in the 7th.
He hit it hard. I'll give him credit for that. It was a chopper, but it was a hard-hit chopper, and it went off the glove of Comerford. It's now a good scoring opportunity for the Crawdads.
DeFazio 0 for 2 with a walk and a run scored. Will take the first pitch, a called strike. Didn't look like DeFazio really agreed with it. Did definitely crowd him a bit.
Again, DeFazio before the game today said, I'm getting the job done today.
Here's a pretty big spot with the go-ahead run on second base. DeFazio will take a fastball and a strike. He's in an 0-2 hole. Crawdads scored 1 time in the second, 1 time in the third. Certainly could have been more. They left the bases loaded in the second. Left 2 runners on in the third. 0-2 pitch to DeFazio. Slider hit on the ground. Nice stop by Comerford. Has to field the long hop, and the throw is wide of first. Casey's going to take off for third. DeFazio into second. Casey thought about coming to the plate, but the throw would have had him by a mile. What was almost an amazing play by the third baseman, Brendan Comerford, turns into an error and turns into a huge scoring opportunity for the Crawdads with their RBI leader coming up.
I think that's, I don't know if that's a single and an error or just a straight error. Probably just an error.
I think I would go error. It took a weird hop on him, but he was able to field it and then kind of played a cat and mouse game with Casey Cummings, who had gotten pretty far off of the second base bag. Looked him back a couple of times, faked a throw to second base at one point, and then decided to go to first. It looked almost like the inverse of the Cody Bellinger throw to third a couple of years ago against the Giants in Oracle.
Grant Cummings was giving him the wave. Jackson Bird just had one of my favorite moments of the entire year, because he might be like the biggest, just strongest dude on this team. He just did like the flimsiest run I've ever seen. A little jog, waving his hands out towards the third base bag, handed Casey Cummings a cup of water. Casey did the equivalent of a shot and gave it back to Bird, who ran back to the dugout. So the guys are starting to play a little looser, which is good to see.
It will go as an error, but still 9 hits on the days for the Crawdads, and the table has been set for Cole Kosciuszko, who's 0 for 3. And Austin, what does that mean?
He's due. He's due back.
1 out, top of the 7th inning. Things are all tied at 2. After the mound visit, Tierney's back on the rubber. And it looks like the Blues may come all the way in. The corners at least.
They're going to walk him.
Not a bad idea.
Maybe
a bad idea.
Man. I wouldn't want to face Isaiah Walker right now. The guy that might have the most dog in him at the moment.
He's also 3 for 3 on the day with a base hit off of Eddie Tierney back in the 5th inning. Crawdads the best opportunity to break through today. They need a win to clinch the CCL North. Here in the top of the 7th inning, have the bases loaded and 1 out in a tie ball game. First pitch to Walker, immediately lines it back up the middle into center field, a base hit. Cummings has scored. Here comes the throw. DeFazio will be in there safe. A 2 RBI single for Isaiah Walker, and the Crawdads lead 4-2 in the 7th.
The swing of the year. After the intentional walk, first pitch fastball, middle, took it up the middle. That is the swing the Crawdads have been waiting for, and who else but Isaiah Walker? I was right.
He is 4 for 4. 4 singles, 2 runs batted in, but 2 huge runs batted in as the Crawdads now lead by 2. Still runners first and second. Kosciuszko couldn't get any further than second. Ethan Liao will take down low, ball 1. All of a sudden here, Crawdads have made their mark. One 1-0 pitch from Tierney. Fastball way outside. Looks like he's starting to lose it a bit after the single, and it's 2-0. Crawdads with 10 hits in today's ball game. We're still in the 7th inning with 1 out. A huge blow from Isaiah Walker. 2-0. Liao taps it foul into the Crawdad dugout. It's 2-1. Both these teams had been jabbing at each other for the first 6 innings of the game, but neither could really strike. And Isaiah Walker comes up in the clutch as he has done all summer long.
RBI number 31-32 on the year. That is awesome.
2-1 pitch. Fastball catches the corner, a called strike. It's 2-2, and there's still good speed on the bases as well. Walker, we know about him. Kosciuszko, he's got double-digit stolen bags.
I don't really get why you walk Cole Kosciuszko there.
2-2 pitch to Liao. Fastball popped up on the infield. Tierney going back, takes his hat off, but he gives way to the third baseman, Comerford, who makes the catch about 5 feet off the mound, a little bit off to the right for the second out of the inning.
I should rephrase. I get why you walk Cole Kosciuszko there.
To get to the righty-righty matchup.
And to load the bases.
Get the force, yeah.
But, man, not with Isaiah Walker, dude.
Isaiah Walker has had a much more quiet, stellar season than Kosciuszko has. Kosciuszko's kind of really put himself on the map. So, I mean, maybe
Cole Kosciuszko is going to win CCL Player of the Year. Is
exactly
what it is.
Here's Jackson Bird. Left-handed batter takes the first pitch down low, 1-0.
I mean, just to compare to the last couple of years, Isaiah Walker is to Ryan Ellis. His Cole Kosciuszko is to Ryan Rowe. So, calling it a Robin to a Batman is unfair.
Ball, no strikes to Bird. Fastball misses inside. Another really nice stop by Goff. Said he's been all over the place back there today.
Yeah, he's done a really good job. Man, Isaiah Walker.
Huge, huge, huge.
That might be the swing of the year.
Can't be overstated.
Now 10 for 15 against Slow this year.
2-0 to Bird. Fastball way high, ball 3. Crawdads with 2 runs here in the 7th after going scoreless in the 4th, 5th, and 6th. Bats have come alive. 2 hits in the inning. 3-0 pitch to Bird is taken and ball 4. So the bases will be loaded again, this time for Nico Azpilicueta.
First walk given up by Tierney. Still no action in the bullpen. This is his inning to get out of. You leave one for Azpilicueta and he'll do some damage.
Today he's 1 for 3. A couple of times he's reached on a fielder's choice, but singled back up the middle in the 6th. That was off of Tierney, and it was hit pretty hard. Bases loaded, 2 outs. Crawdads leading 4-2. First pitch to Azpilicueta, slider outside, and a ball, 1-0. Azpilicueta, the 8th man to come to plate for the Dads in this inning. I think started with a strikeout of Xavier Rios. 1-0. Fastball hit on the ground. Comerford gloves it on the backhand. Can't find the handle. He tries to put a tag on third. They're going to say Kosciuszko's safe there. And Kosciuszko's off the bag. There was a collision. And the fans at Sinsheimer can't believe it. Run comes home to score. It's 5-2 Crawdads. That's a play that you don't see all that often. Comerford fielded it on the backhand, didn't think he had the handle, tried to beat Kosciuszko to the bag. In doing so, just pushed him off the bag.
I mean, it was that's what it was. It wasn't intentional, obviously, right. But all of his energy was going towards the third base bag, and that's Walker over at third base that ended up getting pushed over. By the way, his celebration put the Mickey ears up. It's a fielder's choice. I mean, I think it's the right call. I think this is a good time for a look, shall we? This look around the CCL is brought to you by...
Have scored 3 times in the inning, and well, for their sake, not done. Hopefully not done yet. Umpires still talking in front of the mound.
I like the call.
A fielder's choice officially for Nico Azpilicueta. Well, I guess unofficially.
And the third base umpire was all over it.
Right.
Like, he had a good view. I think he's just kind of pleading his case right now.
Really not. I just don't understand how you could overturn this. And they're having a lengthy conversation about it. Much needed offense in this inning for the Crawdads. They've scored, of course, 3 times as of now. This will hold up. They'll still have the bases loaded. They'll be sending their 9th man to the plate in the inning. And they're still talking in front of the mound. I mean, the fans here at Sinsheimer couldn't believe it.
I understand the frustration, but don't knock a guy over.
Head coach Brant Cummings standing with his arms crossed across his chest, just staring at the conversation. There's been a lot of frustration for Brant over the past week. Of course, the offense, we've talked about the struggles, but overall losing 3 straight. I mean, this is a huge, huge decision. And
they're going to go talk to him.
They're calling Brant over. Could be bracing him for something. I don't know. We saw Brant Cummings get pretty frustrated in the 8th inning of last night's game. Chase Dabbs threw a ball behind a batter, was issued a warning, and Cummings couldn't believe it. Not sure if he's going to be given a reason to get frustrated for this call. It appears as if it's going to stand. Eddie Tierney is back on the mound throwing a couple of warm-up pitches, talking to the first base umpire.
And through all of this, no action in the Blues bullpen. Feel bad for Eddie Tierney, who's had to throw a handful of pitches. He's sitting a handful of pitches on the day. And now he's going to have to wait. I mean, this is 3 or 4 minutes at least to play.
It's been a long, long delay. I don't know. I would love to know what they're talking to Brandt about. There's been no... They haven't overturned it. They haven't signaled anything since the original ruling was safe at third. It's the third base umpire and the home plate umpire talking to Brandt Cummings, and I don't know.
Wow.
Wow, that is crazy. They're going to call him out at third base after the collision. Comerford pushes Isaiah Walker off of third base, and he's going to get rewarded for it. Crawdads score 2 times in the top of the 7th inning. They're 9 outs away from clinching first place in the CCL North. We'll go to the bottom of the 7th after we stretch. We have stretched and sent it to the bottom of the 7th inning. Big confusing play to end the 7th, but as it turns out, they're going to say that Walker was tagged out, not forced out. So it's a fielder's choice for Azpilicueta still. That stands, but he gets an RBI. Run counts. It's 5-2 as the first pitch from Bronzini is fouled off from Ethan Royal. It's 0-1.
I believe it is 5. I think that's right. Scoreboard says 4-2. Point streak says 5-2. The home plate umpire motioned that the runner at the plate was safe. That does make sense. The tag came. Apparently, we saw a screenshot of it being the right call.
0-1 changeup.
Oh, okay,
Strike.
Bronny.
It's 0-2. The only thing that was confusing, we didn't know when they were saying the out was necessarily made, whether it be on third baseman Comerford stepping on third or when Walker was pushed off and was tagged. 0-2, looping line, drive down the right field line. It'll dunk in, a base hit in front of Jackson Bird. He's going to take the turn for second. Bird has some trouble with it on the warning track. And into second with his first hit of the day is Ethan Royal.
Run does not count.
Run does not count, so it's 4-2. They're saying the tag happened before the run scored. Just a ton of confusing things going on in this game. So only 2 runs in the 7th. No RBI for Nico Azpilicueta.
Not a lot going the Crawdads' way right now.
In a week that everything has gone wrong, a chance to really step on the throat is taken away from them, quite frankly. And they're going to appeal that Royal missed first base on his way to second. Home plate umpire is out to say otherwise.
Oh, man.
This is a dramatic near ending.
You thought it would be easy.
Yeah, to the slow Blues season. This is it. They control their rest of their season. They're able to win today, get a tie for first place. First pitch to Ardois is a strike, 0-1. They still have to bank on the Crawdads losing tomorrow if they're able to come back and win today. But a loss would eliminate them from clinching first place in the CCL North. Bronzini's 0-1 to Ardois, gets away from Xavier Rios, kicks up the third base line, and to third as Royal takes a turnaround there, but pulls it back. He advances on the wild pitch.
You thought it was going to be easy. The late July Crawdads never make things easy, do they?
Why would they?
Scriptwriters love it.
Crawdads sent 8 men to the plate, a walk, a couple of hits, 2 runs scored in the top of the 7th inning to take the 4-2 lead. 1-1 pitch is fouled back out of play. It's 1-2.
Bronzini, though, strikeout pitcher in a strikeout spot with Ardois, Witt, and Tellerman. Not the 3 you want to be facing, needing a punch out, especially with how good these 3 have been recently.
Runner on third, nobody out, bottom of the 7th. Bronzini, the lefty, comes set. His 1-2 pitch looked like a cutter, and it's flipped foul into the slow Blues bullpen down the right field line. Count will stay 1-2.
Almost good news for the Crawdads, though, is there's still no action in the bullpen for slow. So you're going to assume it's Eddie Tierney at least for another inning.
Who's had to work hard, had a 4 or 5 minute break. Wait, I should say, as the 1-2 pitch is slapped foul again. Count will stay 1-2. Wasn't sure if he was going to have to go back out and keep throwing in that inning. I don't know. I think the Blues may have got bailed.
A couple times.
The ball, 2 strikes. Ardois, the right-handed hitter with red batting gloves and a blue bat. This guy's the 1-2 pitch. Again, off into pretty much the same direction into the VIP area.
Starting to get nervous. Starting to feel it a little bit. Later third of the game, a momentum swinging play. Yeah, that's what it's all about.
1 ball, 2 strikes. Bronzini looking for the first out of the bottom of the 7th inning. Change up, line drive, right field, in front of Jackson Burtis. Throw goes to first, not in time. Ardois is able to leg out the single to right field. A run scores, and it's 4-3. Blues are coming back here in the 7th.
You thought it was going to be easy. Bird almost got him at first. That would have been cool.
It's an RBI single for Sam Ardois, who's 3 for 4 on the day. 2 singles and a double, a run scored, as well as the RBI. Here's Cooper Witten, right-handed batter, and Blues left fielder with a runner on first, nobody out. Now a 1-run ball game. First pitch to him misses, down and in, 1-0. Doesn't look like there's any action in the Dads bullpen. Probably going to be Bronzini's game, maybe, but certainly inning, unless he gets into more trouble. It's a pretty healthy bullpen, something that we couldn't have said about a week and a half ago. 1-0 pitch is in the dirt, blocked by Rios. The 7-inning shutout performance from Cal Johnson certainly helped. The starting pitching has been really good, only needing to use Chase Dabbs yesterday after Yasa was able to work through 5 innings. So the bullpen's in a fairly good spot just ahead of playoffs. 2 balls and no strikes. Bronzini home. Fastball misses low, and it's 3-0. Bronzini's a guy that can give length as well. We've seen him go 3-4 innings in the games.
Bullpen is relatively healthy right now, but I think there might be only 1 or 2 guys that could throw today. Braden Barnes, maybe you throw Cal Johnson and Ryan Delaney if you have to. But other than that, it's in a good place, but maybe not for right now.
3 balls, no strikes, no outs. Bottom of the 7th inning. And Witten will take a strike, was ready to head down towards first base.
Not having Drew Aguiar this trip hurts.
Big time. Bronzini looking for the first out of the bottom of the 7th. 3-1. Hammered down the left field line. It's in, a base hit. Could be a tie game. Taking the turnaround seconds, Ardois. He's going to head for home. Here's the relay throw from Ben Royo. There will be none. And the game is tied with an RBI double off the bat of Cooper Witten.
Getting that call turned against you in the last half inning hurts so much. The Crawdads were able to put their first crooked number on the board. Now the Blues have matched and are still threatening for more.
All 3 batters that have come up to the plate in the inning have base hits, and 2 of them go for doubles. RBI single for Sam Ardois. Here's the RBI double for Cooper Witten, and we're tied at 4. So Zach Tollerman still a runner on second and nobody out. Bronzini was excellent in his first inning through 8 pitches, picked up 2 Ks. It has been the exact opposite here in this inning. First pitch to Tollerman in the dirt, blocked by Rios, and it's 1-0. It felt like the Crawdads were separating themselves, the bats. Finally, some things were starting to go right. The way that 7th inning ended for them, you could feel something. And, well, that something is 3 straight hits.
3 straight hits, plus a call that doesn't go your way, plus a run that gets erased.
Bronzini, after a mini mound visit from his catcher Xavier Rios, comes set, takes a couple of big, deep breaths, stares down Witten on second, and time is called by Zach Tollerman at home plate. 4 runs, 10 hits, an error for the Crawdads. 4 runs, 9 hits, an error for the Blues. These 2 teams had just 10 hits yesterday. 1-0, down below the zone, and it's 2-0.
Braden Barnes starting to get a glove and start tossing in the bullpen for the Crawdads.
Still no action for the Blues. The Eddie Tierney, we assume, back out for the 8th. Still a ways to go to get there. 2-0 from Bronzini. Curveball flied into center field, struck pretty well, but the park will hold it. Cummings circles under it. Runners tagging from third. Here's the throw, the tag, in time to get him. A great throw from Casey Cummings, an even better tag from Nico DeFazio to gun down Witten at third base for the 2nd out of the inning.
That is such a massive play for the Crawdads. Ball wasn't hit that well. Cummings is able to make the play. I don't know why anyone tests that man out in center field, even with the speed of Witten after the double. You never want to make an out at third base, especially in a tie game, and that play might have just saved the Crawdads.
They take the tying run off the bases and erase the scoring threat. So now nobody on and 2 gone for the catcher Parker Goff. Big swings of momentum in this game. You could see the Dads fired up as a first pitch swing and a miss on a fastball to Goff. It's 0-1. I mean, the second DeFazio got that tag on Witten, popped up to center, like looking towards center field, and just started, throwing his hands in the air, celebrating. An electric moment, maybe a game-saving moment as the 0-1 is fouled off over our heads, 0-2.
And how about the impact of Nico DeFazio today? He's reached base twice. He's played a good defensive third. He's been just a burst of energy, where the Crawdads have not had that in their lineup recently. That is an unsuspecting hero from today.
No balls, 2 strikes, and 2 outs. Bronzini set. Here's the 0-2 pitch taken, and that's strike 3 right on the corner. Goff goes looking. Ronzini picks up his third strikeout, but we go to the 8th, tied at 4. 3 runs, 2 hits, no men left aboard. Austin Oda is going to take us the distance here on the Walnut Creek Crawdads streaming network.
Seven innings and we're right back where we were when this game started. All tied as we go to the 8th with Ben Royo, Xavier Rios, and Casey Cummings due up against the righty Eddie Tierney. 4-4 the score. It has been a ball game and a half so far. And what better way to try to end it for the Crawdads. Tierney in his fourth inning of work, excuse me. He has been in since the 5th and now here in the 8th. Gave up 2 runs on 2 hits and an error in the last inning. It was a funky 7th. First pitch he throws is way outside of Ben Royo. A ball and no strikes.
Well, I'll tell you what, it's been a roller coaster of a game.
1-0 outside, 2-0.
Up and down again and again and again. You said, who thought it was going to be easy? This certainly isn't.
Tierney with the 2-0. Royo watches it dart off the inside, 3-0. The light is pretty red in a 3-0 count with Tierney up now almost 60 pitches. 3-0. High, but call the strike. 3-1.
Yeah, Tierney really just didn't have his command. Walked 2 guys in the 7th inning. He's lucky that the Crawdads only got 2.
3 balls and a strike. Royo pulls it towards the left side. Back on 2 hops, Ardois throws across the diamond and retires Royo by half a step for out number 1. That'll bring up Xavier Rios. Rios 0 for 2 with a pair of strikeouts and a chance to get on base for the 2nd time today.
Number 9, Xavier Rios.
Need it. Need runners at this point.
2 strikeouts and a walk. Tierney works from the windup against the righty in a 4-4 game. First pitch to the Crawdads catcher. Fastball on the outer black, strike 1. Tierney twitchy righty against Rios, who's opened his stance a little bit more. No balls and a strike. Rios lines it straight back, 0-2.
Good cut. I mean, I know he's 0 for 2 with a walk, 2 strikeouts, but I think the swings have been pretty good. The strikeout looking, actually both times strikeout looking. But the at-bats have been solid.
No balls and 2 strikes. From the windup, Tierney. Rios takes down and away, 1-2. Unfortunately for Rios, now 9 strikeouts in his last 14 at-bats.
Yeah, it's not great.
1 ball, 2 strikes, 1 out. Tierney from the windup to the plate with a 1-2. Misses off the inside, 2-2. Rios has seen a lot of pitches today.
Rios is arguing that it hit him.
All right, Cummings goes down to argue as well, but the home plate umpire just waves him off. 2-2 to Rios, 4-4 here in the 8th. The Crawdads win would clinch first place in the CCL North. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 1 out. Tierney nods his head now from the windup to 2-2. Rio strikes out swinging. A change up, down, and in. And strikeout number 3 for Eddie Tierney.
I mean, it's a good pitch. I mean, sometimes you got to tip your cap. And Rios, 3 strikeout day. It's tough.
That'll bring up Casey Cummings, Crawdads center fielder who got the rally started back in the 7th with a double. His first 2-hit day in a while. Singled back to lead off the game and then doubled in the 7th, scored a run. First pitch hits Cummings. Looks like it got him on the ribs.
That's a dangerous spot. Ribs, I think he's okay, which is good. Just rattled up more than anything. But that's scary. Certainly scary. And I think that can happen with Eddie Tierney. Just the arm angle, that's kind of the dispersion pattern, I guess you want to call it. It's going to miss. It's going to be up and in or down and away. It's with the arm angle. But that's pretty much a double for Casey Cummings. Don't be surprised to see him go and, in action.
We'll see. Casey's on first. He does lead the team in stolen bases. He's been a threat all year. Did get picked off back in the 1st. Can't have that happen in the tie game here in the 8th. Nico DeFazio at the dish has reached base twice. First pitch is going to be a throw over to first, and Cummings back in with a standing move. Fazio walked back in the 3rd, worked a 3-2 count and took the walk, worked a 3-2 count again in the 4th and grounded out to 3rd, and then in his last at-bat hit a ball hard, but it was off the glove of the, or actually it kind of fielded and then not thrown by the 3rd baseman. Was able to reach 2nd. Here, runner on first, 2 outs. First pitch to DeFazio. Fastball on the inside, called strike 1. 4-4 the score here in the 8th. Cummings creeps 3 steps off first with DeFazio in the right-handed batter's box, closed off stance. No balls and a strike. Cummings does not run. DeFazio watches a frisbee slider off the outside, 1-1. Want to get this inning to Cole Kosciuszko and Isaiah Walker. Any way DeFazio can get on base, the Crawdads would take. A ball and a strike. Cummings looks like he's inching towards 2nd. He does not go. Pitch swung on and missed. Throw back to first. Tollerman applies the tag, but Cummings isn't there, and he's going to be into 2nd with a steal.
Okay. That was unorthodox. But a runner in scoring position. Let's take a bloop. Just anything. Bloop me.
1 ball, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Biggest spot of the game for the Crawdads so far. Tierney twitches to the stretch. Comes set with the 1-2. DeFazio fouls it off.
Constantine, the 2nd baseman, is really holding on Casey for good reason, but the downside of that leaves a big hole on the right side of the infield. A dribbler scores a run. If DeFazio was talking about coming up big today, Nico, this is the time.
1 ball, 2 strikes, 2 outs in a tie game. Cummings off 2nd. The 1-2. DeFazio, slow tapper to short on 3 hops Ardois. Shuffle steps over to first and throws it there in time to retire the side. The Crawdads get a 2-out base runner on 2nd. But strand Casey Cummings there will go to the bottom of the 8th. Braden Barnes out for the Crawdads when we come back. Bottom of the 8th, a new pitcher for the Crawdads. It's the lefty Braden Barnes, who has been so good this summer.
Braden Barnes, 2-0, 1.75 ERA, making his 12th appearance, 25 and 2/3 innings pitched, 19 strikeouts. Has gone scoreless in his last 6 outings. It's been really good, and the Crawdads need a couple scoreless innings from the southpaw.
First pitch to Brendan Comerford is a backdoor curveball. Called a strike on the outside at 0-1. Third lefty of the day for the Crawdads. 0-1 misses way up high. 1-1. The final line for Nick Bronzini: 2 innings, 3 hits, 2 runs, no walks, 3 strikeouts. Braden Barnes, the lefty, against Comerford, the righty, who's 0 for 3 with a strikeout. Fastball up atop of the zone and swung on and missed. 1-2. Crawdads 4, Blues 4. It all comes down to this. Who could have expected anything different? 1 ball and 2 strikes with Rios starting on the outside, now bringing it more middle. The 1-2 is lined left field. Liao sprinting in, will pull it up and watch it drop in front of him for a base hit.
Just a dunk base hit, not hit hard at all. I mean, just off the end of the bat, weakly struck. And got a feel for Barnes, because working with a leadoff runner on can be tough, but lefty-lefty matchup, and he's dominated those this year.
Jake Hicksonbaugh, 1 for 3, a single and a fielder's choice and a strikeout. Bunts at the first pitch, pulls back, and it's strike 1 anyway, as Rios tosses over to first, but back in safely is Comerford.
Probably don't need to make that throw, by the way. There's no need. That's a go-ahead run late in the game, nobody out, not that far off. It's not like he was doing anything crazy.
No balls and a strike. Barnes will lob over to first. They've got him picked off. The tag is late.
It was to the wrong side of home, or to first base. It was towards the home base side. Oh, they had him. They had him.
Still no balls and a strike to Hicksonbaugh. Barnes to the plate as Hicksonbaugh squares again and pulls back and takes strike 2. A fastball on the outside, and Barnes is miles ahead.
Interested to see if they have him square to bunt even in the 0-2 count.
See what he goes to. Rios sets on the outside. Barnes is 1-2. Is just a little high with a fastball. 1-2. 4-4 here in the bottom of the 8th. Crawdads need 1 win to clinch the CCL North. Braden Barnes from the stretch. The 1-2. Curveball. Somehow he got a piece of it and tapped it back. The Crawdads scored single runs in the 2nd and 3rd to jump out to a 2-0 lead before going scoreless till the 7th, where they put up a 2 spot. And slow down 2-0. We were able to score single runs in the 4th and 5th before matching the Crawdads 2 in the 7th. 1-2 to the plate. Stands Rios up behind the plate and misses. 2-2. 4 runs, 10 hits, an error for the Crawdads. 4 runs, 10 hits, an error for the Blues. It's been about as even as you can ask. 2-2, misses a little high, 3-2.
Can't put him on here.
Hicksonbaugh's worked back from basically giving Barnes 2 strikes with 2 bunts. Lefty on lefty. Barnes set. See if the runner goes. He does not. The 3-2, fisted, center field shallow. Casey Cummings started back, now goes right and makes the catch casually for out number 1.
I like watching Casey Cummings in center field, even on routine fly balls. I don't know what it is, just the way that he so easily glides to the spot. That's a routine fly ball to center field. And the first out. Ground ball, roll me up. Get me out of this inning. Let's go to the 9th and score a run.
Joe Blanchette tapped out to Nico DeFazio at 3rd in his last at bat in the 6th. Braden Barnes' first pitch to him here. Curveball down low. Stopped by Rios, 1-0. 4-4 in the bottom of the 8th. The line's about as even as you can get for both squads. The 8th place hitting Blanchette, 0 for 3. 1-0. Curveball on the outside, 1-1. In the 9th, the Crawdads will have the heart of their order up. Cole Kosciuszko, Isaiah Walker, Ethan Liao. 1 ball, 1 strike, 1 out. Pitch. Wide right side. That'll go foul, 1-2. The 3 lefties have been so good this year. The 3 that the Crawdads threw today. They've only given up 4 through 7 1/3 today. 1-2. Fastball just a little tight, 2-2. Braden Barnes looking for a strikeout. He's gone to the changeup a little more as the season has gone on, especially against righties. See what he goes to on the 2-2. Curveball, hit high and deep left field. Liao going back, but it's in the park. In front of a splotch of dark grass, makes the catch for out number 2.
Yeah, I got a good reaction out of the crowd. Sounded a little bit like the Chavez Ravine, but Ethan Liao had plenty of room out there in left field. Just a pop-up. Good job on Braden Barnes. Kind of got in on the hands. Jam shot out there. And there's 2 outs after the leadoff single.
Here's the Crawdad killer, Gavin Constantine, who's 1 for 3 today. Now 4 of 9 with an RBI and a double on the summer for a guy that's sub 200. First pitch, line drive up the middle, of course. That's a base knock for Constantine. Stopping at second is Comerford, and San Luis Obispo threatening here in the 8th.
I just don't understand baseball sometimes. A guy can struggle so heavily and just get at bats against the team, and he just turns into a different hitter. Constantine's got 2 knocks to keep the inning going, and both hits today have been rather legit.
That'll bring up Ethan Royal, the best hitter for San Luis Obispo, who broke what was an 0 for 2 with a double to lead off the 7th. First pitch to him, a curveball breaks in, 0-1. He's been the key cog for San Luis Obispo over their winning streak. 13 of 29 coming into today with 3 doubles and over half his conference runs batted in. No balls and a strike with 2 on for the Blues. Barnes is 0-1. Fastball just a little away, maybe a touch low, 1-1.
Pretty good pitch, though. You like that spot a lot from Braden Barnes.
Barnes hangs the left arm, now comes set. 2 on, 2 out. Looks to second. Now raises the leg and the 1-1. Fastball misses high and away, 2-1. A leadoff single by Brendan Comerford was followed by a pair of flyouts by Jake Hicksonbaugh and Gio Blanchette. Gavin Constantine followed with a first pitch single. And here a 2-1 hitter's count to Ethan Royal. Barnes trying to dance out of trouble, the 2-1. Fastball at the knees on the inside, 2-2. 2 balls, 2 strikes, and 2 outs. Crawdads and Blues for the final time in the regular season, tied at 4 in the 8th. A win would clinch the North for the Crawdads. Barnes ready, comes set. The 2-ball, 2-strike pitch to Ethan Royal is fouled off to the right. Royal protected on a big curveball and will stay alive.
Maybe only one of a handful of curveballs. Haven't seen a lot of that type of pitch from Braden Barnes, so a good job from E.J. Royal to get a piece and stay alive. Wouldn't be surprised to see that one again, but maybe buried in the dirt.
2 balls and 2 strikes. Barnes ready. Looks to second again, now the pitch to Royal. Fastball up and away, 3-2. The runners will be off on the pitch. The biggest pitch of the season so far for the Crawdads. Comerford will go off second. Constantine will match off first. Royal, the only man that Braden Barnes, the lefty's paying attention to. He comes set. 3 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. The pitch is fly to the right side, tailing foul, and it'll drop in foul territory. 3-2.
That stopped your heart, didn't it?
A little bit.
Wasn't it hard down the line, but there's a lot of room down there. Bird playing off the line. So shallow.
We'll do it again. The runners will be off in a tie game here in the 8th. 3 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Barnes to the plate. Curveball nubbed into the dugout of the Blues. And a good job by Royal to stay with that one. We'll do it again. 3 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs in a tie game. Barnes set. The full count pitch to Ethan Royal is down low, ball 4. Have no clue how he took that one. A curveball that dropped just a little low. And the bases are loaded for Sam Ardois.
It's a really good at bat from Ethan Royal. A 9-pitch walk in the biggest spot. SLO is fighting for first place. I mean, they have to win this game if they want a piece. Leaving it all out there. That was, sometimes you got to tip your hat.
Got to bring up Sam Ardois. He was 3 for 3. A pair of singles, a double. Has driven in a run today. Drove in the run that made it a 1-run game back in the 7th. That's here, bases loaded, 2 outs. The first pitch from Barnes. Ardois takes just a little away, ball 1. San Luis Obispo still scoreless here in the 8th, but they've got the bases juiced in 2 outs. Barnes gets to work again from the windup. Delivers the 1-0. Ardois watches outside, ball 2. Now Ardois knows he's almost definitely going to see a fastball. Barney's got to come in. 2 balls and no strikes. The base is loaded for SLO. Barnes from the windup, the 2-0. Curveball down and away, ball 3. And Barnes in danger of walking in a run.
Don't hate the idea. I don't like the execution. Went to the curveball. Just couldn't get the release point.
3 balls, no strikes. Ardois will likely have a red light. The 3-0 is on the outside, strike 1. Hitters will get themselves out. Barnes has just got to come in. The 3-ball, 1-strike pitch is outside, ball 4, not close.
When the Blues score, you score.
The first run that Braden Barnes has given up in over a month of baseball gives San Luis Obispo the lead. Austin Harrington's going to head out to the mound.
Just so tough. So tough. The leadoff single, then Barnes gets the next 2 guys out, and you think, okay, you can get out of this with no damage done. Go to the 9th, still tied. And, of course, now that's not the case, but you can't give in. You gave up the run, so what? The offense on the other end has started to they've woken up over the past couple of innings. The at-bats have looked better. Got to keep the deficit at 1.
Here's Cooper Witten. Witten has 2 hits on the day, one of them an RBI double. He tied the game back in the 7th. Bases still loaded for SLO, 2 outs in the inning. First pitch to Witten. Curveball misses down and away, 1-0. The Crawdads getting some action in their bullpen. It looks like Rowan Leto started stretching. A ball and no strikes. Barnes from the windup. Down low, 2-0. And Barney, who's been so good at just keeping the ball in the zone and letting his defense play, is all of a sudden walked back-to-back batters. 2-0. Witten lines it left center field. That's going to split the gap and get down a base hit. 1 run scores, 2 runs scores. The throw's going to go into Arroyo. He goes to second. There's no throw. It's a 2-run double for Cooper Witten, and it's a 3-run inning for SLO. And so it goes. Now to bring up Zach Tollerman. First pitch. Tollerman takes a changeup on the outside, strike 1. SLO leads 7-4. A leadoff single by Comerford was followed by 2 flyouts, but then 4 straight base runners. 0-1. Tollerman lines it into left field. That's a base hit and a fair ball all the way towards the corner. 2 runs are going to score. Tollerman's into second, and after not giving up a run for a month, 5 in the inning against Braden Barnes. Eight have hit in the inning for San Luis Obispo, and here's Parker Goff. 9-4 now the score. Runner on first, 2 outs, and the wheels have fallen off. 7 unanswered for San Luis Obispo. First pitch to Parker Goff is called a strike. Crawdads were just up, 4-2. No balls and a strike. Barnes with the 0-1. Goff lines it left field, medium deep, but in the park. Liao is there. He'll make the catch, and at long last, the inning is over. SLO scores 5. 4 hits, 2 big walks. We go to the 9th. Crawdads need 5 to stay alive. It's not a close game anymore. In the top of the 9th, it's 9-4. San Luis Obispo is leading, and they've taken a controlling lead in front of their own faithful.
That was about as demoralizing as it gets. A pitch away from getting out of it, and a walk with the bases loaded to score a run, and then the floodgates open. Not over.
Crawdads need 5 to stay alive with Kosciuszko, Walker, and Liao due up against Eddie Tierney. The first pitch to Kosciuszko misses inside, 1-0. Owen Leto, just 2 days after throwing 60 pitches, is getting loose in the bullpen for the Crawdads. 1-0. Kosciuszko swings and misses, 1-1. Nine to 4 Crawdads trailing here in the 9th. Tierney for his 5th inning of work against the Crawdads offense that has once again gone stagnant. 1-1 misses outside, 2-1. And the message for the Crawdads right now is you can't play hero ball. There's no 5-run home run. Got to get base runners on. 2-1. Kosciuszko swings and misses, 2-2. So for 3 today, he's got hit by a pitch in the 7th.
A couple of big cuts in this at-bat as well. Now with 2 strikes, you got to protect. Get on any way possible.
2-2. Kosciuszko lines it left side, slicing. That'll get foul. We'll do it again. 5 runs in the inning. Now the Crawdads are going to have to find a way to stay alive. We're heading home tomorrow. 2-2 to Kosciuszko. Takes down and away, 3-2. Crawdads do have a good arsenal of bench bats on their roster available. 3-2, Kosciuszko takes ball 4, leadoff runner.
That play is right there. That's what you need. You need runners. So you get the first guy up, get the first guy on, keep that line moving. Set 9 men to the plate here. See what happens.
That'll bring up Isaiah Walker, who is 4 for 4 today. It's been his day. He had what seemed like the biggest hit of the season for the Crawdads back in the 7th, the go-ahead 2-run single. But just has not been the Crawdads' day. First pitch slider from Tierney called a strike at the middle of the zone, 0-1. So as I mentioned, the Crawdads do have Aiden Camber, Cam Calvillo, Mark Wolbert, 3 guys who have been staples of the lineup on the bench today and available in pinch hit capacities. Oh, one misses outside, 1-1. There's a righty getting loose in San Luis Obispo's bullpen. It looks like Matt Gonzalez, who's been pretty solid for San Luis Obispo. 1-1. Walker skies it left field in the park. Going back is Cooper Witten. He'll square up, and he catches it for out number 1.
Walker missed it, but barely. I like that swing. I really do. Just a little under it. Caught it a little fat.
That'll bring up Ethan Liao. He's got a pair of hits today.
Number 11, Ethan Lamb.
2 for 4 overall. Kosciuszko on first, 1 out. Crawdads trailing by 5. First pitch. Liao takes a slider down and away, 1-0. Crawdads trailing by 5 here in the 9th. We'll be back at home tomorrow to face Menlo Park, but all of a sudden looks like it could be a huge game as Liao takes down low 2-0. Looks like Jackson Bird and Nico Espoqueda are holding their spots on deck and in the circle for the Crawdads. So maybe Camber, Calvillo, and Wolbert will come in for some combination of Royo, Rios if it were to get there. 2-0 to Liao. He's way outside, gets to the backstop, and Kosciuszko will kill the double play chance on the wild pitch, moving up to second.
All right. That's something.
Blues baseball is sponsored by the
Rio taking all the way here.
Have to. Maybe even until 2. The catcher's going to head out and talk to his pitcher. We'll take a look around the CCL. Brought to you by American Stage Tour. Small enough to care, large enough to compete. San Francisco leads Alameda 6-1. Menlo Park leads Sonoma 2-1. Conejo leads the Academy 4-0. And Arroyo Seco in Orange County have not started yet.
None of those games, the Crawdads matter. Alameda's been out of it forever. San Francisco eliminated last night. Sonoma and the Legends. I mean, if anything, you want Sonoma smash the Legends in and make the Legends use a ton of pitching.
3-0 misses up high, ball 4. So 2 on for the Crawdads here in the 9th. That'll bring up Jackson Bird.
All right, 2 walks in the inning. That helps. That helps the cause. Doesn't look great right now, but a base hit, another base hit, and things start moving. All of a sudden, it could be a 2-run game, and you just got to grind every single at-bat, pitch by pitch. It's not easy, but it's doable.
There's Jackson Bird, who's swung a pretty good stick today. First pitch misses outside, 1-0. He'll be taken until at least 1 strike. He singled in his first at-bat, flew out deep to left center field in his second time up, then popped out to shortstop before taking a walk back into the 7th. Ball and no strikes to Bird. He takes the fastball right on the middle. 1-1.
Look at it this way. With 2 outs and a runner on first base, SLO scored 5 runs in the bottom of the 8th inning.
One and one. Outside 2-1. Crawdads 4, Blues 9 here in the 9th. 2 balls and a strike to Jackson Bird. Holds his hands calm from the left side, now brings them over his back shoulder. 2-1. Bird takes, ball 3 up high. 3-1. Gonzalez is ready in the bullpen for San Luis Obispo. 3 balls and a strike from Tierney. Pitch. Bird takes, ball 4. Base is loaded.
Tying runs in the on-deck circle. Hitting is contagious, but so is pitching. And if it's hard to throw strikes for one guy, the next guy that comes in feels the pressure of that. That's applied pressure to him. I mean, this is how rallies start.
And they're not making the call to the bullpen yet. Gonzalez is ready, but the Blues manager is just out there talking to Tierney. He's walked 3 straight batters surrounded by an Isaiah Walker flyout. 1 out here in the inning. The Crawdads trail by 5, and they're going to leave Tierney in. The Crawdads are going to send up a pinch hitter. It looks like Mark Wolbert is going to come in the game. Wolbert sat today. Kind of just nursing a heel injury, not a full injury, just a little blip. He's been one of the best hitters for the Crawdads this year.
And kid gets on base, can draw a walk with the best of them. I wouldn't be mad to see him standing on home plate and put the pressure on Tierney.
Coming in with a .340 average, a pair of home runs, 14 driven in. Tierney will work from the windup against Mark Wolbert, fresh off the bench. The first pitch is on the inside for called strike 1. Kasiasko on third, Liao on second, Bird on first. An 0-1 count to Mark Wolbert. See if he gets the green light here. 0-1. Wolbert swings and misses, was way late 0-2. The Crawdads trail by 5 here in the 9th. Are putting a little pressure on, but still a long way to go to climb back into this one. No balls and 2 strikes. Tierney from the windup. Kicks and fires. Wolbert takes a little outside, ball 1. You can hear the crowd. It's a pitch that has not been called all day by the home plate umpire, and Wolbert knew it. 1 ball, 2 strikes, 1 out here in the 9th. Tierney again from the windup with the bases loaded. Wolbert grounds it slowly left side. The third baseman's going to go to second 1. Throw back to first is not in time. Wolbert beats it out. Crawdads bring home a run, but 2 outs in the inning.
Yeah, well, you'll take the out over 2 outs, obviously. Good job on Wolbert to hustle down the line. Talked about nursing that little heel problem that he's having. Not too serious, but just wanted to get him a day off. See him with the hard 90. Looked just fine running down first base line there. And looks like Cam Calvillo is going to grab a bat.
So Calvillo will pinch hit here in the 9th. He's been cold recently. It's with runners on the corners and 2 outs. Still Tierney staying on the mound. Now a 4-run game. 9-5 the score. Runners on the corners for the Crawdads. Calvillo wide open stance from the right side. First pitch, slider misses high, 1-0. Would not be surprised if Calvillo reaches base to see the Crawdads continue their line of pinch hitters and put Aiden Camberg on deck. 1-0. Fastball, middle, 1-1. 9-5 the score. The Crawdads have scored once, still have runners on the corners, but 2 outs now in the inning. Tierney in his 5th inning of work. 1-1. Calvillo takes a little low, 2-1. For Tierney, that pitch number 97 out of the bullpen. It's the guy that threw 3 days ago. 2-1. Calvillo skies it right side, shallow. Coming in the right fielder, Hicksenbaugh. He dives and he makes the catch. I hate this game, man.
The Blues 9, Walnut Creek 5. Please watch your social media over the weekend to see when we play those wild card playoff games. Thanks for coming and have a safe drive home.
10 straight for the Blues. The Crawdads have not won here in San Luis Obispo since 2021. And after holding a big lead in the CCL North, the Crawdads and Blues are tied heading into the last day of the year.
I don't know what to say. I will say this. The season's not over. It is for SLO. There's a game tomorrow. And That looks like a frustrated, angry group that's meeting up in left field right now. Got to bring it tomorrow.
Some good news for the Crawdads. They'll have their ace on the mound against a team that has lost 13 straight. The bad news for the Crawdads is that they have had 4 games to win 1 against the Blues team that they beat twice early in the year. A Sonoma team who has given them fits over the last couple of years, and a San Francisco team that's going to finish 7 games out of first place. It's going to be a big game tomorrow. You're going to have to throw Jackson Bird for 3 or 4 innings at the very least. Drew Aguiar is going to have to pitch. You're going to have to piece together something because, God, you do not want to play on Tuesday.
Can't afford to play on Tuesday. I mean, I know that earlier in the game, I said the bullpen was in a good spot, and it might be in a fine spot. I should retract my statement on that. Barnes threw a ton today. Leto threw a ton the other day. Drew Aguiar's been throwing a ton every day. Yeah. And, I mean, if you want to make it to the championship, the number 1 seed has the obviously easiest route. Really, I don't know what to say. I really don't know what to say. SLO's won 10 consecutive games, man. They've been on fire. They were a few games under 500 at one point. They were looking like they weren't going to make a playoff spot at one point. It looked like it was going to be San Francisco. And they have just come roaring all the way back. For now, that puts them at the top.
Got to win 1. It's been the message for the last week, and the Crawdads have been unable to do so. Hey, they return to the sunny confines at Monte Vista High School tomorrow, and man, there are times you love this game, there are times you hate this game, and you can guess what kind of time this is right now. Crawdads fall to 22-14 in league play, and now they're tied with the San Luis Obispo Blues. The Blues rise to 21-13, and now they are tied with the Crawdads. I've got some bad memories here. Man, this is a tough one. Crawdads were ahead 4-2 in the 7th. Gave up 7 unanswered at one point before scoring a Mickey Mouse one in the 9th. I will say, and I mean this completely genuinely, I saw a lot more fight in this team today than I have in the last week. Isaiah Walker's going to do something special tomorrow. Yeah. The unfortunate reality of it is the Crawdads had to sit 3 of their best players today.
Yeah, I mean, this was the B, C lineup. Be fully healthy, ready to go tomorrow. Like you said, with their ace on the mound, and yeah, there was fight. I know that the scoreboard says 9-5, and I know that there's a 5 spot in the 8th inning. But there was fight, and I think for the first time all season, like you said, you could tell they hated yesterday. They hated today. They hated the lows. They hated how things played out. You feel that. You really, really can feel that. But it's time to prove it tomorrow. You got to forget about it now. You got to forget about last 4 games, last week, whatever. Doesn't matter. You put yourself in this spot, and you can get yourself out of this spot.
So the Crawdads have their longest losing streak since July of 2022, and they're going up against a team that is not playing good ball. But you know what? The unstoppable force against the immovable object goes up against each other tomorrow. The first and last place teams in the CCL North, and the Crawdads need a win. They're going to get a 1 on the field right now. It's back to the drawing board for Brant Cummings and the coaching staff. For now, for Dylan Allen, Olivia Arciniega, my color commentator Carson Mercier, My name is Austin Oda. The Crawdads fall 9-5 tomorrow, folks. That's a big one.